My mom had two passions in life: overworking in her successful tech firm and making up lies about my dad. He left us when I was a baby, and Mom hated him so much she wouldn't even tell me his name. But once when I was 10, I just wouldn't back down and kept asking, and finally she caved.
Fine. Your dad's name is Roald Dahl. Can you leave me alone now?
I was so excited. I had a name. I'd find out more about him, which I did only a few days later when our teacher said we'd be reading a famous book called Matilda by Roald Dahl. That's my dad. He wrote this book.
I don't think so, Mila.
He is. My mom told me that Roald Dahl is my father.
Then your mom is lying, and you're stupid to believe her.
The kids in class started laughing, and I was so mad. I threw the book at my teacher's face, and I got detention for a week. Growing up, I tried asking Mom's friends about Dad, and I snooped through every corner of her room, always hoping I'd find some clue. And when everything failed, I turned to YouTube. People of the world, I need your help. My dad is lost, and my mom won't tell me where he is. I don't know his name or what he looks like, but I do know that he's very handsome, like me. My mom looks like a cross between a Dracula and a very sad clown, so I'm definitely not like her. Anyway, I just want to talk to my dad, and anyone who can make this happen will get my really expensive Barbie collection. You can email me on www.mymomisamonster.com. I did get responses, but they were all prank emails and creepy messages. And of course, Mom found out and got that channel blocked by her team of hackers.
All my colleagues saw that video. It's so embarrassing.
I wouldn't be if you'd just tell me who my dad is.
Your dad is a nobody, and I don't want to talk about him. Also, you're grounded.
With time, Mom and I grew further apart. Eventually, I stopped asking her about Dad and focused on school. And even though I was always a good student, my real passion was painting. I worked hard, watched a million YouTube videos, and by 18, I got pretty good. I even applied to a bunch of art schools and got accepted into a really prestigious one. Of course, Mom didn't approve and thought art was for losers. So I decided to prove her wrong and organized a small exhibition for all my paintings. I invited her friends, my teachers, and other artists I knew, and I was super excited until Mom walked in. So, what do you think?
I really thought you were serious about this art school, but I have to tell you, I am so relieved that you're not. I just wish I'd seen your paintings before I wasted my time coming here, not to mention the money you spent on this event.
What? Of course I'm serious about art school, and I've really worked hard, Mom, and you're just insulting me in front of all my friends.
I'm telling the truth. I mean, look at that painting. It's a donkey, for God's sakes.
It's not just a donkey. It's a metaphorical depiction of the pain someone goes through when you load them with expectations. It's art.
No, Mila, it's rubbish. Now, I can stay here and give you 10 reasons why you suck, but I just don't have the time. So wrap this up and I'll see you at home.
Everyone was staring at me, and I'd never felt so embarrassed in my life. I was still recovering from that when the next morning, I received a call from the art college that Mom had called the dean and withdrawn my application. I barged into Mom's office, boiling with rage. Are you insane? How dare you mess up my college application?
I told you, it's a waste of time, and you're not even good at art, but I'm glad you're here. I've decided that you should do an internship at my company this summer and learn about the family business. It'll help you with business school applications too.
I'd rather eat a bag of poop than become a stone-hearted computer slave like you. I will never work at your stupid company, and I hate you. I really mean that. I hate you, Mom. I tried talking to the college authorities if they'd consider me again, but they asked me to apply next year. Feeling heartbroken, I was waiting for a cab outside the college when suddenly this hooded figure walked over, threw a note at my feet, and ran away. You're my sun and moon. I'm near you, and I'll meet you soon. Love, Dad. Dad? Jeez, he was playing this idiotic prank on me. I didn't think much of it and tossed the note aside. But then I started getting these dumb notes all the time. With my mail, once in a restaurant, and even in my school locker. I didn't believe for a second my actual dad would send me these notes. But one day, I opened a book and found a photograph of me as a baby along with a phone number. Feeling curious, I dropped a text, and minutes later, I got a pin location. Of course, I was skeptical, and I knew this could be dangerous. But what if it really was my dad trying to reach out? I'd go there with my pepper spray. That afternoon, I took a cab to the location. I nervously knocked on the door, and this young girl opened it. I'm looking for the man who lives in this house. I think I'm his daughter. And I'm Beyonce. Excuse me? Oh, I thought it's a game we're playing. Who lies better? Now get lost, you imposter. I'm my dad's daughter. The only one. You don't. Before I could finish, the girl girl went inside and started chasing me around with a paintball machine. As I tried to dodge her aim, I tripped and hit my head, then blacked out. When I opened my eyes with some difficulty, I found myself lying on a sofa with a man next to me.
I think she's waking up.
She's certainly not dead. Hey, ugly eyebrows, open your eyes properly. I'm just 14, and I can't go to jail after killing you with a paintball machine. Stop shaking me.
Oh, thank God you're okay.
The man hugged me tight and told me that his name was John and that he was my real father. You're really my dad? You sent me all those notes?
Yes.
You creeped me out. Why didn't you just get in touch like a normal person?
Because I was scared of your mom.
Dad explained how Mom and Dad started their company together, but then Mom got greedy, started taking on clients for illegal things like hacking into companies' databases and stealing information. When she got busted, she framed him and he went to jail.
I was released a few years later, but I couldn't find a job here, so I went to Spain where I met Estelle's mom, but I missed home, so I came back. Mila, your mom ruined my life.
Dad started sobbing, and I felt terrible for him. Of course, it sounded just like Mom. If she could crush her own daughter's dreams, she could do anything. The entire next week, I met Dad secretly without letting Mom know. He was sweet and really interested in my life. It was nice to have a parent who actually cared. And eventually, I told Dad about how Mom had withdrawn my college acceptance and how angry I was. And Dad suggested I move in with him.
It'll give you time to calm down and we can bond better. I know my house is smaller than you're used to, but it's full of love and care and—
Mold! What? Gold. Like golden hour. So good, it'll make your ugly face shine. Anyway, continue.
So, what do you think?
I'm in, and the next day, I told Mom I was leaving for a vacation and went to Dad's. I was looking forward to having a peaceful time, but Estelle was a nightmare. She spiked my food with earthworms, trashed my closet, and wrote threatening messages on the bathroom mirror. And one day, I was hanging out in the food court at the mall with my friends when out of nowhere, Estelle joined us. Did you follow me here? Guys, ignore her. She's, my crazy cousin. I just had a few questions for your friends. Did you know that Mila farts in her sleep and snores like a hibernating bear? You don't believe me? I have it here on record. Look, look. And that's her picking her nose when no one's watching. Isn't she adorable? That's enough. Estelle, please get lost. But I only want to hang out with you. You hate me, right? Is it because I'm not rich like you? Oh my God, it is. My cousin hates me because I'm poor. This is the worst day of my life. And Estelle started howling before dropping to the ground, and everyone was staring at us. I even had security come over to ask if everything was okay, and I literally had to drag her out of there. I went to Dad's room to complain, and he calmed me down.
Estelle has had a tough life. Her mom and I never had the kind of money you did, and we were always working to make ends meet. She didn't get our attention and basically grew up alone. She's just acting out. Give her some time to warm up to you.
I could kind of relate to that, so I softened towards Estelle and decided to make an effort. I thought I'd pick her up from school one afternoon, but when I got there, I saw a bunch of girls surrounding Estelle. Hey, double eyes, if I take your glasses away, will you turn blind? And what's with your hideous outfit? Wait, I might have something to make it better. And with that, one of the girls threw mud on Estelle, and she didn't even react. The girl charged at Estelle again. I walked in and pushed her away. Don't you dare! Hey, who the heck are you? I'm her sister. Now, if you don't want me to break your pretty nose, I suggest you buzz off. The girls looked scared and ran away, and then Estelle turned to me. You didn't have to do that. I know we hate each other, but you are technically my sister. It's kinda my job to look out for you. Aw, you almost made me cry, which never happens. Care for some ice cream? You're paying, obvi. We actually ended up having a really good time, and Estelle even opened up to me. She told me her mom was in Spain, working to give her a better life. My parents got separated a while back, and I'm only here with my dad for a few months before I return. Will you stay in touch with me after you leave? Don't hold your breath. Estelle had a weird sense of humor, but at least I wasn't the target anymore, and we only got closer. Life was finally looking up, until one day, I walked into the kitchen to find Dad looking tense over a pile of papers. Is everything okay?
I have no money and the bills are just piling up. If things don't get any better, I might have to pull Estelle from school.
I'm sorry, Dad. Is there anything I can do? I could give you my credit card.
And who would pay for that?
My other credit card?
That's not how things work, Mila, but if you really want to to help, there's something you can do which you may not like.
Try me.
Well, I've got information that your mom is building this groundbreaking software for the government. If we could get the back-end codes for it, I could sell them to one of her competitors and we'd have enough money to cover the bills and plenty more. I could even pay for your art school.
You mean you want me to steal from Mom?
Technically, everything your mom's done has been based on my research, so it's mine. I'm only asking you to get it back. Think about it.
I thought about it a lot. Mom had ruined Dad's life and stolen from him. And she was ruining my life too. And she was already so rich. How bad would it be for her to lose one project? So the next morning, I told Dad I'd help him. I had to steal the software files and bring them back to him. But for that to happen, I had to go home first and act like things between me and Mom were okay. As I was packing my things to leave, Estelle walked into my room. Don't do it. Don't do what? I heard your conversation with Dad and your plan to steal something important from your mom. And I'm all up for crazy ideas usually, but that feels wrong, even to me. You should trust me. I have a really high IQ. You don't know what she's like, and she's ruined Dad's life. I'm doing this for him and you. You tell yourself that, but it's just your way of getting attention. You'll regret it, Mila. And yeah, I know he's our dad, but really, why are you trusting the guy you just met a month ago? Just go away and play with something, Estelle. You're just a kid. No need to butt into grown-up business. Fine, don't say I didn't warn ya. I went back home the next day, and Mom was pleasantly surprised. I've had a lot of time to think, and you're right. I don't want to be a painter and die poor. I'm ready to take you up on the internship offer. If that's open. Of course it is. I'm so happy you finally found your way back. Mom hugged me, and a couple of days later, I started working for her. I kept a close watch on Mom, carefully observing her routine. Any chance I got, I sneaked into her office, but I didn't find anything. So a few days later, while Mom was away, I stole the key to her home office from her room, and sure enough, I found the files on her personal computer. The next day, I went straight to Dad's and handed him the flash drive.
Excellent, Mila. Now you can just sit back and relax while I put this information to good use.
Did you really mean it when you said you'd pay for my art school?
Of course, honey. Why wouldn't I mean that?
Well, you've lied about everything you've ever said to me. You can see why I would have trust issues.
Excuse me? What do you mean?
I was so angry at Mom, and I'd been so keen to find you that when I finally met you, I just believed everything you said. But when you asked me to steal from her, I began wondering if you turned up in my life because you actually cared about me, or if you just wanted to use me to get back at Mom. The last few weeks, I haven't been searching for the software. I've been digging deeper into what actually happened between you and Mom. Turns out, the two of you set up a company with her money, after which she found out you'd been stealing money and transferring it to an offshore account. And when she kicked you out of the house, you broke in and tried to kidnap me to extort money from her, for which you were caught and sent to jail.
What? Who's been feeding you all this baloney?
I found the documents of the court case proving you were embezzling, and also the police report of the break-in and attempted kidnapping, plus the restraining order Mom has against you for both me and her. I've seen it all with my own two eyes. Oh, and obviously, that drive just has a bunch of nonsense in it. Did you really think you could just turn me into a criminal like yourself? Dad stared at me speechlessly, then snarled and flung the drive into the wall. Just then, the door flung open and Mom and Estelle walked in with police officers who had Dad in handcuffs within seconds.
What are you arresting me for? I didn't do anything. If this girl says I asked her to steal something, she's lying!
Oh, that's not why they're arresting you. You've broken the law by even being in the same room as me. Restraining order, remember? I'll be reporting this as another attempted kidnapping. Dad went kicking and screaming as Mom hugged me. I'm so glad you came to me and told me everything, Mila. I just wish I'd told you the truth sooner and kept you safe from that man. I had no idea he'd ever reach out to you. I'm really sorry about this and everything else. I haven't been a very good parent, have I? You can start now, and I know you were just protecting me from the truth. And if I wasn't angry at you, I wouldn't have trusted Dad so easily. Thank God Estelle knocked some sense into me and made me think about his agenda. Yeah, I'm very smart. Now, my mom's waiting for me in Spain, so can you buy me a ticket? And I hope you have a good life, which may be hard since you're kinda stupid. I don't like making a lot of trouble or a lot of noise. I just like hanging out with my friends and eating good sushi and being totally peaceful. But if you mess with someone I love, all the peace is gone and my heart burned like 1,000 flaming suns, and I'll become a monster. Before that fateful day when everything changed, I was just a normal, peaceful girl who lived with her parents and did my best in school. Though that wasn't always very good. The kids all knew not to mess with my friends because I would lose my mind and yell and scream and make their life horrible until they apologized. But when they did, I would just say thank you and go back to normal.
I had no idea this little quirk of mine would change my life forever. I was on my way to meet my friends at the public garden on the bridge when I saw 4 guys surrounding them. But the guys all had their backs to me, so all I could see were my friends' faces, and they looked so distressed. I swear my friend Miyumi was about to cry. My head boiled and my cheeks turned red. I ran up to them, already yelling. "What are you doing to my friends, you jerks? Get away from us!" I panted like a dog, totally out of breath. The guys were all stunned, their eyes wide and mouths dropped open. Then Miyumi tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Itsuki, they weren't picking on us. Then why were you about to cry? And you, Akari, I saw your face too. Don't defend these jerks. I know what I saw."
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. We weren't harassing your friends. We were just talking to them.
"Oh yeah? Then why?" Suddenly, I couldn't breathe. I saw his face, and all the air went out of my lungs. The rage in my heart became utter humiliation, and I wanted to crawl into a hole and never come out. It was...
I'm Aoki, and they were just trying to get an autograph. These are my bandmates behind me. I swear, we weren't doing anything bad.
I could barely hear a word he said because all I could think about were the millions of times I danced with my friends in my living room to their videos. It was Aoki from the band Take Back Time, the biggest, most popular band in all of Japan and almost the whole world. When he saw me freeze up, he smiled.
Don't worry. It was really brave of you to stand up for your friends like that. We have to go to prepare for our show tonight, but why don't you guys come? Look, I always carry extra tickets just in case I meet cool people like you guys before a show. And if you want to come backstage after, just say this to the security guard and they'll let you in.
He gave me a paper with the words abracadabra. Aoki sent me. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I like your courage. Maybe we'll write a song about it one day.
They left and my friends screamed with joy, but I couldn't even think about going. I was so embarrassed. How could I do that? Yelling at someone just for being nice? And to the pop group I loved the most. While we went to eat and my friends couldn't stop talking about going to the concert, I just kept replaying the moment over and over in my head. Except every time I pictured it, it got worse and worse in my imagination. I even started to believe I pushed him off the bridge and into the water. Itsuki, relax. That never happened. Plus, it was your crazy defensiveness that got him to give us the tickets in the first place. I'm not going. What? Are you crazy? This is the chance of a lifetime. We get to go backstage. Yeah, and I get to face Aoki again, my hero who I've idolized since I was in middle school. Except now, instead of meeting him like I always imagined, he'll always think of me as the crazy girl who punched him and made him cry. That didn't even happen. Well, that's what I remember, and you can't change my mind. So no, I won't go. I'll stay home and eat ice cream and cry. That night, I was home, eating ice cream and crying, when my phone dinged with a text message from a number I didn't recognize. All the message said was, outside. I looked out my window and there he was, the black SUV parked behind him. I assumed in case anyone saw him and he had to run away. I thought maybe I was dreaming, but nope, it was real. Even in my house, I couldn't hide from my embarrassment. I opened the window. I don't have makeup on. I can't come out. How did you find me?
I asked your friends when they came backstage. I just want to talk. I wanted to talk to you.
Talk to me about what?
Come down and I'll tell you.
I took a deep breath, got myself as ready as I could with such a short amount of time, and went out to meet him. Even now, after doing a whole show for hours of dancing and sweating, he looked perfect. I can't believe you came here. Don't you hate me after I yelled at you for no reason?
Hate you? I think you're the coolest person I've ever met.
I think your idea of cool and my idea of cool are two very different ideas of cool. He laughed. I wasn't even sure I'd made a joke. What did you want to talk about?
Before we get to that, do you want to go to the beach?
Now? It's the middle of the night.
I know, but when I'm on tour, I almost never have time to go. Today was my only chance, but I wanted to see you, and I figured this way we could do both.
So, I went to the beach in the middle of the night with a pop star. I guess I still wasn't sure this wasn't a dream. But on the way, we talked about regular things, like how he missed school and what TV shows we liked. And he asked me a lot about myself, and I just blabbed on, and by the time we got to the beach, I actually almost forgot he was famous. He was just a normal boy in my eyes. We sat on the shore, the stars shining, and it was so beautiful, except it was freezing. I tried not to shiver. I didn't want him to think I was uncomfortable and that we had to leave, but I couldn't help it when he asked me,
Are you cold?
"No," I stuttered, my teeth clattering. He took off his jacket and gave it to me. Finally, I could relax and enjoy being there.
What I wanted to say to you is, I admire you.
Me? Why? For yelling at you and making a total fool of myself?
Yeah, actually. I'm kind of kidding, but the truth is, my whole life, I could never stand up for myself. I've always been so reserved and shy and, if I'm being honest, scared. But because of what you did, I finally had the courage to stand up to our manager tonight. He has been terrible to me and the others for years, and because of you, we're free of him now.
I didn't know what to say. I had no idea being myself and just defending my friends could have such an impact on someone's life like that. We walked along the beach, and as we talked some more, I couldn't believe how funny he was. And then, out of nowhere, it started snowing. We had been so busy talking, we didn't even notice it got cloudy. He took my hand while we stood there, watching the snowflakes fall. I looked him in the eye. "Thank you for taking me out tonight. I'm having a really good time."
Everyone thinks I'm so happy all the time because of what I do, but to be honest, sometimes all I want to do is talk to someone, connect to someone who doesn't see me as just part of their job. No one has ever said thank you for just spending time with me.
I'm sorry to hear that. Those people don't realize how lucky they are to have you. He looked into my eyes, and that tiny little moment suddenly became an endless ocean. He leaned in to kiss me. I closed my eyes. I couldn't believe it. My first kiss was gonna be with the biggest pop star in the world. Then, a wave washed over our feet, and I screamed from the cold. He laughed, and I did too. And then suddenly, a warm light fell over me. It was pink and yellow and purple, and I realized it was the sunrise. We had been there all night. Oh no, I'm gonna get in so much trouble with my parents. He got me back home as soon as he could. When he parked in front of my house, he said,
If you ever want to come to my concert again, text me and I'll get you in. And use those words and come backstage to visit me.
I leaned over and kissed him. The kiss made time stand still all over again. I swear in that moment, even the sunlight froze. When I pulled away, I was a little embarrassed. I'd done it without even thinking. I wondered what he would say. He just smiled and said,
The bravest girl I know.
Finally, I went home, but my parents were already awake, and they were furious with me. I apologized, but I couldn't help but smile, which only made them angrier. They sent me to my room and said I was grounded for a whole week, but that was fine with me. For the next few days, all I did was write about that night. I texted with him as much as I could. He even told me about life on the road, the interviews and film premieres and concerts he was going to, and even asked me to FaceTime. Wow, while I'm locked in my tiny room with nothing to do, you're out traveling the world, meeting famous people, singing to thousands, and watching movies that haven't even come out yet.
That's all true. I met all my heroes, and every night I sing to thousands of girls who wish they could marry me, and none of it means anything.
What do you mean? Of course it does. You're making such a difference in people's lives. You make them so happy with your music, and I know the people who meet you love you.
I don't want to sound ungrateful. I love my life. I worked very hard to get here. But the truth is, out of all the amazing nights I've experienced, just sitting with you and talking on the beach under the stars was the best, most unforgettable night of my life.
And then he got quiet and looked so sad it made me want to cry. And that's when I knew, I'm never gonna see you again, am I?
After the Japan tour, we're going straight to America, then Australia, and then England. I won't be back here for another 2 years.
I realized this conversation was gonna be our goodbye. It was the hardest thing I have ever had to do. But I knew it wouldn't work with us, and I thought it would be much more meaningful if we stopped talking on purpose, rather than just slowly falling out of touch over time. As much as I tried not to, I couldn't help it. Tears began just falling from my eyes, and he cried too. I wanted to say so much. I wanted to promise that we would meet again one day. But I knew with him being so busy and me going to college soon and having to work so hard, it wouldn't be possible. So I said the only thing I could think of in the moment, the only thing that was true. I'll never forget you. He was still sad for a while and stayed quiet for a long time. Then he looked up at me and smiled.
Of course you won't. I'm unforgettable.
We both laughed, and for a little while, we even let ourselves forget our sadness. We talked on the phone all night. And again, I didn't realize how long it had been until the sunshine came through my window and hit my eyes, just like it had that night on the beach. And then finally, we hung up. Some years later, when I was in college, I got a message from him. He said he would be in Japan for a concert, and if I wanted to go, he could get me and my friends a couple of tickets. I asked for 5. Me and my friends went, and there he was. It was really nice to see him again. And then, just as the concert was about to end, his bandmates all left the stage, and the lights went out except for his spotlight, and he played a song on his acoustic guitar that no one had ever heard before. The song was called "To the Bravest Girl I Know," and it described everything that happened between us. I didn't tell my friends it was about me. It was special. It reminded me of that amazing night. And then the spotlight fell on me, and everyone turned to look. I didn't feel very brave then, with all those eyes on me.
Come on up to the stage, brave girl,
he said, and everyone clapped when they realized the song was about me. My friends were in shock. I took a deep breath and walked through the crowd. But all the fear left me, and I realized, maybe I really am brave. On the stage, he met me in the middle, putting his guitar on the stand and turned off his microphone so that when we talked, it was only for us.
Hey, I missed you.
Of course you did. I'm great. He laughed, and then, with the whole world watching, he kissed me right then and there. The crowd went crazy with applause. I don't know what'll happen, but for now, I'm just happy being his brave girl. Growing up, the only person who ever noticed me was my big sister Akari. My mom traveled for work so much that I even called Akari Mom when I was too little to understand what was going on. My sister would take me to school where I would sit in silence and never say a word to anyone until she picked me up again. And then I wouldn't shut up the whole way home. But she didn't mind. She liked hearing me talk, and she liked playing games with me, like making me look like one of her dolls. She would also give me a makeover using our mom's makeup, or dress me up as a monster and have me chase her around the house.
Rawr! I'm gonna eat your head! My head? Yeah, it's the yummiest part! You really are a little monster! Rawr!
When we got older, our mom moved to another country for work. She asked if we wanted to come, but we decided to stay. Akari had graduated from university and had a real job now, so we didn't have much time to hang out. But every Friday, I would wait for her at the train station near my school for when she got out of work, and we would hang out all weekend. And even though we grew up, nothing really changed, except now we didn't play dress up anymore. Now we dressed up for real to go out to dinner or the arcade or whatever we wanted. We had the best life. The only problem was, I was still too shy to talk to anyone, especially boys. One time when we were at the arcade, I saw a boy staring at us. Akari elbowed me. "He's looking at you, Nozomi. Go talk to him." My cheeks got so red, my hands all clammy. I suddenly froze up and couldn't even play the games anymore. Okay, let's go home. You don't have to talk to any boys. But you know, it would make me really happy if you tried, at least once, for me. Maybe you can talk to a boy for me. Then I won't have to do any work. She gave me a dirty look, but she was only kidding. I knew she was right. I just had no idea how I would ever talk to a boy. Then one Friday, the train that was supposed to arrive didn't come, and suddenly I got a really bad feeling. After 30 minutes, the train finally came, but Akari wasn't on it. I called and called, but she didn't answer. Then finally, I got a call, but it was from a random number. Hello?
Is this Akari's sister, Nozomi? This is the hospital. Your sister was in an accident. She's in a coma.
All the air left my lungs. In the hospital, I found her lying there with her head bandaged. She looked like she was sleeping. They didn't know how, but she fell onto the tracks and hit her head.
The doctor said it was impossible to know when she would wake up. From that day on, I started visiting her every day. I usually read to her, but one day I forgot my book, so I just talked. And when I left, I ran into the nurse in the hallway. If you have time, maybe you can talk to him too. He's in a coma like your sister. I think he was part of the accident she was involved with. He was? I think so. But we don't know who he is. He didn't have any ID when he was brought in. He had no one to visit him? I felt so sad. I imagined my sister being here all alone with no one to talk to her all day. Before I knew it, I was in his room. He looked a couple of years older than me. I sat down beside his bed and without even realizing it, I was just talking to him just like I talked to Akari. 30 minutes later, I was finally out of things to talk about. That's when I realized something. You know, you're the only boy I've ever talked to. You're a really good listener. I started bringing 2 books to the hospital every day after that. One for my sister and one for the boy with no name. Something strange happened after I was reading to him for a few days. Every night when I went home, I would think about him and even dream that we met and talked and fell in love. I realized it was ridiculous to fall in love with someone I didn't even know. And the next day, when I read to him, I tried to push the thoughts away. But for some reason, I just couldn't help but think, maybe it was love at first sight. That night, I decided to leave the book I had been reading to him in the hospital closet so I wouldn't forget it. But when I opened it, I saw there was a leather sketchbook inside. I opened it and saw that it was drawings of people at the train station. Every page was a different person. I flipped until I found my sister. I couldn't believe it. I realized then that the nurse was right. They must have been in the same accident, and it gave me a great idea. Maybe if I could find out what happened, I could find out who he was. I went to the train station from his drawings. It was the same one Akari used to come and see me after work on Fridays. I saw a woman waiting for the train. Excuse me, do you know about an accident that happened here a few weeks ago? Yes, I was here. A young woman fell from the platform as the train was coming and she hit her head. She would have died, but then the boy jumped down and picked her up. But as he pulled her away, the side of the train hit his back and he fell too. Whoa, the boy I had been reading to all this time had saved my sister's life. Maybe I wasn't so ridiculous for having feelings for him. Maybe it was destiny. Then the woman pointed to an elderly lady. That older woman, I think it's the boy's grandmother. She's been coming here every day waiting for him. We tell her he's in the hospital, but she doesn't remember. I was so sad to see her waiting there for him. I wanted to tell her what happened. Excuse me, ma'am. Are you waiting for your grandson? Yes, he's never late. I don't know what happened. But I decided if she couldn't remember anything, maybe it wasn't a good idea to tell her something so terrible like he's in a coma and might never wake up. But I couldn't leave her there like that, waiting for him. She had a cane and looked very weak. I'm sure he'll come home soon. Can I help you get home? I walked with her as she told me stories about how kind and wonderful her grandson was. His name is Kenji. He's always drawing. He takes care of me. With every word she spoke about him, I was falling more and more in love. But then I realized, oh no, without him, she had no one to take care of her. After I walked her home, I went to the market and bought a bunch of food and took it to her house where we both cooked while she told me more stories about him. I always tell him he needs to meet a girl and have a life of his own, but he says he doesn't have time for girls. He says it's because of his work, but I know it's because he takes care of me every day. But there is one girl he likes a lot. He always draws her. See? She pointed to a stack of drawings. I looked through them all. They were all of Akari waiting at the train station. I couldn't believe it. He was in love with her. My heart broke into a million pieces. The love I felt for him, it was all for nothing. And what was worse, if they both woke up, they would probably end up together and I would have to watch. Still, I couldn't let his grandmother be alone with no one to take care of her. So every day, I would take the train and find her there waiting for him. And every day, we would cook while she told me stories about how wonderful he was. I had to smile, but I wanted to cry. And every night after visiting her, that's exactly what I did. I cried on the train ride home, on the walk, and in my bed. And every day, I would get up, go to the hospital, read to my sister, and then read to him. And then one day, I stopped reading and just talked. You know, Kenji, you're still the only boy I've ever talked to. And to be honest, the only boy I've ever loved. When you wake up, everything will be different. I'll miss spending time with you, but I hope we can at least be friends. One night while I was sleeping, I got a phone call. Hello?
Fantastic news. Your sister woke up and she's doing really well.
I ran to the hospital and found her sitting there eating pudding. She smiled big when she saw me. I hugged her so tight she begged me to let go. Before we left, I asked the nurse, "Can I come back to see him again?" "I'm sorry, but we don't allow anyone up here except family. I wasn't supposed to let you visit him at all, but I felt so bad." "Oh, I see. Can I say goodbye?" She nodded and went to Kenji's room. "When you wake up, I'll make sure you and my sister meet again. Oh, and don't worry. I'll take care of your grandmother until then. Goodbye, sleeping boy." I asked if Akari remembered anything, but she didn't. "I heard a boy saved your life when you fell." "Really? I would love to meet him one day." "I'm sure you will. Fate has a way of making things happen." After that, Akari was still too hurt to work, so she just lived with me. But I kept seeing Kenji's grandmother every day to make sure she ate and was doing okay. One day, I knocked on his grandmother's door, and when it opened, it wasn't her on the other side. It was Kenji.
Hello, are you looking for my grandmother?
Yes.
She told me someone was taking care of her while I was sick, but she couldn't remember your name. Thank you.
Then he gave me a big hug, and all the thoughts I was trying to push away about being in love with him came back. He invited me inside, and we all had dinner. And this time, he had done all the cooking. And it was delicious. While we sat and ate, I realized all the stories his grandmother had told about him were true. He was kind, sweet, funny. Then he asked me to wait while he put her to bed. After, he asked if we could talk outside. I said yes, but to my surprise, instead of going out the door, he went to a ladder that led up to the attic. "Wait, why up there?"
This is where I go to draw when my grandmother goes to bed. And tonight, there will be fireworks.
He went up and I followed him, even though I hated heights. He led me to a window and stepped out. He sat on the roof and I sat beside him looking over the faraway city. The lights twinkled like stars.
So, how did you meet my grandmother?
Oh no, I hadn't thought about this part. If I told him the truth, I would have to say that I read to him in the hospital. At the train station, she was always waiting for you. Which wasn't a lie exactly, but now that meant I couldn't even tell him thank you for saving my sister's life. Maybe if I ask him about the accident, it will all come out naturally. But he said he couldn't remember what had happened. I felt so foolish for not telling him the truth just to save myself from a little embarrassment. All he did was be nice to me. I decided I owed him for saving Akari. So even though I would be humiliated and look stupid, I would tell him the truth. But before I could, he said,
I kind of remember a little. There was this girl. I think she fell. I was in love with...
I know.
You know? How could you know?
I saw your drawing of her. Your grandmother showed me. You were in love with her. That's why you jumped and saved her.
Actually, no. I was in love with her sister.
I couldn't breathe. Did he just say what I think he said? He looked down at the ground and said,
Every Friday, the girl from my drawings and I would get on the same train. Sometimes we talked a little. She said she was meeting her sister and she started telling me about her, what she was like. She was cool and funny and when she would get off, her sister would meet her and I guess it was love at first sight. Like we were meant to be. Sorry, I must sound stupid.
Good thing he wasn't looking at me, or maybe he would have seen the hearts in my eyes. Why did you draw her sister and not the girl you liked?
I only saw her for a few seconds every day, but I always tried.
Then he showed me his book of drawings, and all the way in the back, there were drawings of parts of a girl, never the full picture, since he drew from memory but never saw her fully. It was me. I couldn't believe it.
After the accident, I can't remember what they looked like. I went to the station today, but I didn't see anyone who could have been her or her sister. I guess I'll never see her again.
Actually, you're looking at her right now. He turned to me, confused, and then his eyes lit up and he recognized me.
But how? I don't understand.
I put my hand on his and kissed him. Just then, the sky exploded with fireworks. I pulled away and looked into his eyes. It's a little complicated. Let's just say I took care of you. My dad used to be a basketball player for the national team, but he had to quit after a serious sports injury and a permanent limp. But he didn't give up his passion and became a basketball coach. He was my inspiration to always work hard.
Always remember, Kayla, the harder you work, the higher you go.
I was a very tall kid from the start, and while everyone around me thought I was a little weird, I loved and embraced my height.
Hey, how's the weather up there? The weather is great. The view,
Not so much. When I turned 10, I got into basketball just like him, and I loved it. I worked really hard, and by the time I was 16, I was the best player in town, and also won a sports scholarship to a great school, which was in Dad's old hometown. On my first day in my new high school, everyone stared at me, but this one girl, Heidi, was the weirdest. She was the mayor's kid and a total brat. And even worse, she was on the girls' basketball team too. During the first day of practice, the coach introduced me to the team.
Kayla's one of the best players in town, and we're lucky to have her on the team.
As if I can take that giant down in one shot. Excuse me? Did you say anything? I was just saying that being tall doesn't make you the best player. I have the skills to beat you. Really? I'd love to see you try. Heidi and I had a one-on-one match, and I totally owned her. The coach was super impressed and asked me to take over as the team captain. I was over the moon.
Wow, that was impressive.
I looked behind to see a cute guy towering over me. For the first time ever, I'd seen a boy taller than me. Well, thank you.
I don't think I've ever seen Heidi get this angry. You did a fab job. I'm Jay, by the way.
Jay was in my class and the captain of the boys' basketball team, not to mention the hottest guy around. After that day, Jay and I started hanging out a lot and even trained together in school. By the time we were in our senior year, Jay was my best friend and we were always together. Things were great, and when I broke the record for highest baskets in a season, Jay was the first one to cheer for me.
Wow, look at you. You had a great season.
Well, thank you. It wouldn't have been so good if it wasn't for your grueling training.
Well, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure to work with you.
As we were talking, I opened my locker and was bombarded with glitter shots. My clothes, face, books, and even Jay's clothes were covered in pink sparkles.
Wow, looks like you have a secret admirer.
More like a hater. We both know who this is. Oh my god. Just when I thought you couldn't look any worse, you show up in a full face of glitter. Is that a new makeup trend? For losers? I wouldn't know since I just had the perfect season. How was yours? Scored any baskets? Cheeky are we? But hey, look, you've ruined Jay's clothes too. Just like you're ruining his reputation by hanging out with him. Why don't we ask him?
Don't look at me. I just want to get changed. I am terribly late for class.
As Jay left, Heidi stared at me with death in her eyes. What is your problem? You've been after me since the day I came here. I want you to pay for what your dad did to my dad. What? What did he do? And isn't your dad like the mayor? Yes, he is. But your dad made him miserable in school. He was a bully, and I'm gonna take his revenge on you. Someone's gotta pay. I think you're confusing my dad with someone else, weirdo. I walked off quickly. This girl was crazy and just making things up. My guess was that she hated me, mostly because I was close to Jay and she had the biggest crush on him, which she didn't hide. A few days later, while I was in the locker room changing, I heard Jay screaming my name. What's wrong? Why do you look like someone stole your Air Jordans?
It's not funny, Kayla. Do you really mean it?
How am I supposed to know? You tell me. Did someone steal your Air Jordans?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this note you left me. And I understand how you feel, but this is all just a bit of a shock to me.
I was so confused until I took the note from Jay's hand and saw that it was a love confession from me. And I didn't even write it. I had a feeling Heidi had something to do with this. But before I could say anything, I saw her walking out of the gym. So I just grabbed Jay by the collar and kissed him.
Wow, that was
weird, I know, but just play along. Heidi's watching us. I'm sure she's the one who sent you the note. This is nonsense. Look at the handwriting carefully. It looks like a first grader wrote that. I've seen her assignments, and trust me, she writes exactly like that. Besides, do you really think I'd write such creepy, cheesy stuff?
Yeah, but why would she do that?
She likes you. Isn't it super obvious? And maybe she thought this note would make you freak out.
But the joke's on her. I'm sure her butt's on fire. So you don't like me? And this note is just a stupid prank?
Of course. What did you think?
Yeah, of course. I was sure it was a joke too.
Just then, the craziest idea struck me. We could totally pretend to like each other to piss Heidi off. So for the next few weeks, every time Heidi was around Jay and me, I would hug him or loop my arms in his and pretend to be lost in love. Oh, Jay, your eyes remind me of basketballs.
Ew. How about this? Kayla, every time I see you, I feel everything is perfect. And I can stare at you all day, deep in those perfect brown eyes.
He was just being lame, but somehow it made my heart skip a beat.
How was that? Enough to convince her? Now, if we're done, let's go to class.
Yeah, totally. This continued for days, and I could tell that watching me and Jay together as a couple was burning Heidi to a crisp. She was so distracted by everything that her game was at an all-time low. And even the coach decided to bench her for the upcoming championship.
Don't you think we've gone too far? We should just let it go now.
But the fun's just begun. She's always been mean to me. Have you forgotten the days when she ruined my new shoes? Dad got them for me after saving for months. And what about the time she burned my jersey and the coach screamed at me? She deserves it.
But pulling a prank on her only makes you more like her. Think about that.
Jeez, relax. You don't have to go all Buddha on me. Besides, it's only for a few weeks. She can stay distracted, and I'll perfect my game for the championship. Only the best player will get to go to a college with the prestigious Stanford scholarship.
So that's what this is really about? You want the scholarship?
That's not what I meant, Jay. Yes, of course I want the scholarship because I'm not as rich. But
you know what? I get it. You're right. It was me who got mixed signals.
Mixed signals? What did he mean? I wanted to ask him, but before I could, he flung his bag and walked off. When I tried calling him that evening, he totally avoided my call and didn't show up to school the next day, or for a whole week after that. I left him a text, and all he said was that he was down with a bug. I was sitting in the cafeteria one day watching my favorite MSA videos, when suddenly, Heidi plopped her butt next to me. Trouble in paradise? Where's your boyfriend?
Who?
Oh, Jay. He's not well. Oh, but I saw him at the party last night, and he looked fine to me. Did he finally realize you're too trashy for him? Or maybe he finally got tired of looking at your dumb face every day. Who knows? I got up and left, but I felt bad about Jay lying to me. He said he wasn't well. Then why was he at a party? Or maybe Heidi was just lying to get under my skin. I had to confirm it. So I went to his place to check on him, but security told me he wasn't around. And the next day when Jay showed up, he totally blew me off. Hey, where have you been? And why aren't you answering my calls?
Because I didn't feel like it. Now, can you move? I'm trying to get some practice. The championship is coming soon? Oh, you would know that, since it's so important for you and your precious scholarship.
Are you still hung up on that? I said, I'm sorry, Jay. I didn't mean it like that. Is she bugging you? Is my coochie-coo honey bunny getting annoyed? Jay continued shooting as I stared at Heidi in shock and then burst out laughing. I don't know what's funnier, that dumb dress you're wearing or the fact that you just called Jay all sorts of marshmallow names. Oh, I'll tell you. The funny thing is that you're out of the picture and I am Jay's girlfriend.
You're what?
Oh, please tell me this is just one of your dumb pranks.
Can you both take your crabby fights somewhere else? Some of us are actually serious about this game.
But you can't date her.
Really? Why not? What's wrong with her? She likes me.
I tried to think of a better answer than she's a witch, but just then the coach walked in and asked us to get ready for practice. And then there was never a good time. He was either busy with basketball practice or that leech Heidi was always around him. It made my blood boil. But with the championship coming up, I had bigger fish to fry. I started practicing day and night till my body was sore, and it really helped me to keep my mind off the whole Jay situation. One day before the championship, I was walking home when I saw Heidi and Jay outside a cafe. You have to stop looking at Kayla like some lost lover boy. You need to look happier being my boyfriend.
I'm only with you because I don't want to mess up Kayla's scholarship. I didn't know I had to look happy about it too.
Fine. It's not like I'm really into you either. I just want to make Kayla suffer for what her dad did to my dad. And I know she's hating seeing how close we are now. So you better keep up the act. Just remember, all my dad needs to do is place one phone call and no good university will take her in. She can kiss that scholarship goodbye.
Whatever. I'm here, right?
I wanted to slap the daylights out of Heidi, but just then Dad called and I had to rush back home. And I really needed to ask him what he did to Heidi's dad.
Oh God, that was such a long time ago. Yeah, I went to school with her dad and we used to bug him a lot. He was always trying too hard to fit in and getting everybody to like him, but he wasn't a nice guy. Maybe I wasn't very nice to him either, but it was decades ago. He's 10 times more successful than me now.
Looks like he's still holding on to a grudge and his stupid daughter is taking it out on me. I couldn't sleep the whole night thinking about the whole situation. Jay was my best friend, and that witch was blackmailing him into dating her because of my scholarship. I had to put an end to this. So the next day, I walked straight up to Jay.
Kayla, this is the boys' locker room.
You need to dump Heidi. I heard you two talking by the cafe last night, and I know she's blackmailing you with my scholarship. But Jay, you don't have to do this for me. And stop blinking like that. You're freaking me out.
I just don't know what to say. Listen, Kayla, this scholarship is important to you. And if I can keep Heidi off your back for a couple of days by doing this, then what's the harm?
I don't like it. I can't see you two together.
Why?
Jay looked into my eyes, and I could feel my body melting at his touch. What was happening? I wanted to say something, but it was like words had fallen out of my brain. Was I falling for my best friend? Just then, his teammates called him and Jay left for his match. I waited by the courtside to talk to him later, but as soon as the match was over, Heidi leapt onto him and I couldn't stop myself from pushing her away. What the heck? How dare you touch me? How dare you touch him? I know you're just blackmailing him into dating you, so please, why don't you save face and get lost? Jay, you don't have to date her for my scholarship.
But
don't be stupid, KK, or you'll end up losing everything. You can take away 1,000,000 chances from me, and I'll still make it because I know I'm talented, unlike you, who always gets everything because of your father's money. Oh, sweetheart, money speaks for itself, and right now, I can hear it saying that you've lost your chance of ever getting into a good college. Heidi stomped her feet and left, but I couldn't care less. I was about to confess my feelings for Jay, but before I could, the coach called me for the match. That evening, I played the best match of my life and also ended up getting the Best Player award. I had no idea if I'd get the scholarship, but at that moment, all that mattered was that I was happy with Jay by my side. A week after the match, I was waiting by the lockers when Heidi walked up to me. Hey, loser, I told you you'd never win this scholarship. Why do you look shocked? Oh, you didn't see the list yet? No. I'm shocked because you're still talking to me after I royally kicked your butt last week.
yeah, and so what if she didn't get the scholarship? She did get selected for the nationals.
I turned around to see Jay smiling down at me. What? I got selected?
Yeah, and you'll be the team captain. Coach just told me about it, so I thought you should hear the news from me.
This is the best day ever! And you didn't even have to date anyone for this. Ugh, I hate you. I'm gonna tell my...
Dad? We know.
Heidi left red-faced as Jay turned to me.
So that was dramatic.
Not as dramatic as your whole, leave me alone, Kayla.
Oh, shut up. You act all smart, but you couldn't even figure out that I
Like you?
You knew?
No, but I know that I like you too, and if I have to date someone, why not my best friend?
Not that easily. You'll have to take me out in basketball first.
You're on. Growing up in Canada, I was always in awe of how beautiful the country was, besides the freezing cold and constant snow. But Mom and Dad loved to travel. That's why before I turned 10, I had already been to 5 different countries. One time, when we were at the Met Museum in New York, I had the worst stomach pain. My stomach burned and I couldn't walk. Mom, Dad, it hurts. They rushed me to the hospital, and throughout the day, they tried to calm me because I was so scared. Honey, you're gonna be fine. Don't worry, we're here.
She must be in so much pain. Look at how much she's sweating. My poor baby.
And then it all went blank. When I woke up, I found Mom and Dad talking to the doctor. What the doctor said left me wishing I didn't hear it. I was diagnosed with Crohn's on my 14th birthday. Crohn's is when your bowels are inflamed and can cause severe stomachache and may also require surgery at times. My parents did everything they could to cheer me up, but I was angry at everything. Even though I knew they were struggling financially and were very stressed, I couldn't help it. I was rude to the nurses and even snapped at my parents. One day, however, I had snapped to the point that I threw a bowl of custard at the door right behind the nurse. That's so disgusting! Who eats food like that? Billy, that's no way to behave. They're trying to help you.
I don't want anyone's help. None of you understand how much pain I'm in or what it's like to be stuck in here.
It would be an understatement to say my parents were shocked at how much my behavior had changed. I hated everything about my life. I was away from my friends, stuck at the hospital eating tasteless food, and worst of all, my condition got worse. When I turned 15, I had to get a stoma temporarily, which is kind of gross and you don't need to know the details, except that I had several questions for my doctor. Will it stink? Is it safe? It won't cause an infection, right? Honey, give the doctor a chance to answer. Because of the surgery, I had to stay in the hospital for a couple of months so I could be monitored. The pain was getting worse, and I hated being at the hospital at first. One day, I walked out of my room because I couldn't sleep. That's when I heard someone crying. I walked towards the sound and saw it was Mom, and Dad was trying to calm her down.
I don't know how to help her. She's so upset here, and the bills will keep getting higher. What do we do?
We will continue to be happy around her. She will be irritated, but if we stay happy, maybe she'll feel more hopeful.
I felt like the biggest jerk. My parents were struggling, and I had no idea because they were trying so hard to make me happy, make me feel like a normal teenager.
That was when I decided to repay the favor and make them feel better about everything. But the only way I could do that right now was to be happy, or pretend to be, even if I'm not. So, to make my parents feel better, I sucked it up and decided to stay happy. I read somewhere that having a positive mindset helps heal faster, and that is exactly what I did. I decorated my room with pictures of friends and family, every trip we went on, and so much more.
Billy, I love what you've done with your room. It's so pretty, honey.
Thank you so much. I was cut off by some guy yelling and a nurse crossing my room wiping her tears. The nurse told me that there was a new guy down the hall and he was always angry. I knew how he felt, and I realized what a horrible person I'd been to my nurses before. I knew just how to fix his mood. I wanted to do something for him, to get him to smile, but he wouldn't leave his room. All he did was yell at everyone who spoke to him. I had had enough. So one day, when he was taken out by the nurse to run some tests, finally I had my chance. So I rushed into his room to prepare my surprise. I decorated it just like mine. I think better than that, because by the time I was done, it looked like a unicorn threw up a rainbow in there. And wow, when he saw the room, the expression on his face was priceless.
You, what have you done?
Oh shoot. I ran away from him, but to my horror, he was running after me too. He only stopped when I did, and he began yelling at me and telling me how irritated he was. But you've got to admit, this is probably the most fun you've had in the past couple of days.
You're very annoying. Stay out of my room. I hate hospitals.
Rude. Since that day, I steered clear of the guy, whose name I learned was Steele. Silly name. And he seems to get bent out of shape much easier than his name suggests. He stayed away from me too. And every time he saw me, he would glare and walk the opposite way. One day, one of the nurses came to check up on me. She told me how bad she felt for Steele. Why would you feel bad for him? He's so rude. Oh, sweetie, who wouldn't be? It was his birthday last week. He was so excited to see his friends, but none of them showed up, even after they promised him. And his parents had to work. Poor guy. Oh, shoot. Now even I felt bad for him. My parents helped me get him a cake. I didn't want to go to his room after he asked me not to, so I asked the nurse to bring it with a note. Happy birthday, jerk boy, from the sick girl down the hall. 5 minutes later, I saw someone's shadow under my door, walking up and down the hallway. And then I heard a knock.
Hey, sick girl. What do you do when you can't sleep?
Wow. Took you 6 rounds up and down the hallway to ask me that? Just stare at the stars, I guess. He just rolled his eyes at me. I brushed past him and dragged him with me to my favorite spot. We went to the courtyard and sat on the bench looking at the stars.
I'm sorry. It's just that I hate missing out on everything. Why do I have to be sick? Why can't I just have a life like every other kid my age? It's just not fair.
I was like that too at the beginning. But then I realized how much my parents continue to do for me, and what I'm trying to say is, you shouldn't just pay attention to what you don't have. I mean, look, you got to meet an amazing person like me right here. You really couldn't have asked for anything better.
How are you this positive? How do you distract yourself from all this pain and stuff?
If you wait to be happy until everything is fine, you'll waste your whole life. So, I gave myself a purpose, a mission.
What mission?
I haven't told anyone before.
Oh, well, you don't have to tell me.
No, it's okay. I need motivation to work harder on it. So here goes. I'm starting a foundation dedicated to help parents of kids who are sick, so they don't have to worry about bills.
Wow, that's actually pretty amazing. I can help if you want, and would love to join for real once it's up and running.
Yes, I need all the help I can get. Pretty soon, the both of us began hanging out often and working on plans and ideas for the foundation. I would spend all day in his room and he would at mine. We even introduced our parents to each other. It was nice to finally have someone close to my age to talk to, who understands exactly what it's like to have a condition. One evening, a couple of weeks after my stoma surgery, Steele came up to my room.
Want a change of view?
What did you have in mind? I followed Steele out, and he helped me walk by holding onto my hand and my waist. My face was turning red as a beet, and my heart was hammering in my chest. Was this what a crush felt like? He led me to the cafeteria, and my jaw dropped. He had set up a beautiful candlelight dinner. Whoa, Steele, I didn't know you were such a sap. Why?
All you do is work to help other people. You deserve something just for you.
Thank you. This is so beautiful. He led me to the table and it was all set up. The food was still steaming. Steele even pulled out the chair for me to sit first. What a gentleman.
You know, even before I was sick, I wasn't very nice. I was rude, angry, and took everything for granted. And then I met you. I didn't know anyone could be so fun and positive while things aren't going the way they want. As much as I hate the hospital, I'm glad I'm here.
It was so sweet. But then he leaned in to kiss me. I put my hands against his chest. Steele, we can't kiss. You could get sick. The look on his face broke my heart. So I held his hand in mine instead, and he smiled. The next day, I woke up with the biggest smile. Yesterday was like a dream come true, a fairy tale. Just then, the doctor and my parents walked in to talk to me.
Honey, guess what? You get to go home, finally!
What?
You're all good now. You'll just have to come for a checkup in a few months, but other than that, you're fine. You can leave here today. Isn't that great, sweetheart?
It is. It's amazing. While Mom and Dad were taking care of all the last-minute paperwork, I walked over to Steele's room. He gave me the tightest hug as soon as he saw me. Steele, I have some news. I'm being discharged today. I leave in a couple of hours.
That's great news, Billy. Why aren't you excited about it?
Because once I leave, I won't be able to visit you. I'll be moving back to Canada.
Oh, is there no way you could visit?
I don't think so. I can try though. But Steele, is it fine if I just leave like that?
Hey. No, you don't have to ask me. I'll be completely fine. I'm just so happy you're finally getting out of the hospital, completely healthy. And I promise you, I won't go back to being a grumpy jerk boy. I'll make sure I make every moment count, just like you did.
I spent the rest of my time there with Steele until my parents came to get me. We promised to stay in touch. For the first few months, I thought every other person I saw on the street was Steele. Everywhere I looked, there he was. I felt like Cupid had hit me with a bucket of love with Steele's name on it, but I pushed it aside. There was nothing I could do. As the years passed, life got in the way, and eventually, we both lost touch with each other. I got extremely busy with completing high school, trying to get into a university, and with the foundation. I put all of my focus on getting it open. After organizing talent shows and competitions as fundraisers and to get some awareness on it, I got some attention and eventually got to meet the CEOs of the biggest organizations who wanted to help me out with my own foundation. But I was in for a shock when I spoke to them. So, from all the donations and money you make, we will get 40% of the cut, and you can decide how much you want to keep and give the rest to the families. I'm sorry, but did you just suggest that you and I take the majority of the money that is supposed to go to struggling families? Of course, I don't agree. That is not the goal of my foundation. You're just a child. This is how it works. I have nothing to lose if you deny this offer. It's just you who will struggle. I was fuming with rage when I stepped out. I ranted about it for days to my parents. I had to take matters into my own hands. I worked hard for years at university and internships. And finally, at the age of 22, I opened my very own foundation. It became known globally. I was one of the youngest CEOs in the world, and I was on many magazine covers as well. I'm not gonna lie, that was fun and it made me feel great. But it wasn't the fame I was after. It was the families I got to help out. Many people showed up to donate and help out, and one day, my assistant ran up to my office to inform me that we had gotten one of the biggest donations ever, a whopping $100,000. He's here right now, and he wants to work with us as well. Isn't this exciting? Can I show him in? 100,000? Yes, of course. I can't wait to meet this angel of a person.
I'm an angel now? I thought I was the jerk boy.
It was Steele. I couldn't believe my eyes. 6 years later, and he was finally here.
So I'm perfectly healthy now. Do you think we could pick up where we left off? Maybe I take you out somewhere that doesn't serve hospital food?
I'm so happy for you, Steele. And I know a great coffee shop. There's so much catching up to do. Everything worked even better than I could imagine. And it was all because a long time ago I decided if you wait to be happy until everything is fine, you'll waste your whole life waiting.
They say that when true love comes for you, you won't know what hit you. My girl Lacey came at me like a freight train. Babe, this song is for you.
Every girl in the club turned to me with their eyes popping out of their sockets and their jaws wide open, like they thought I didn't deserve him. I don't care what anybody thinks about Walker and me. Well, that's not exactly true. I did care about what one person thought. Bex, Walker's little sister and my best friend. When Walker and I got together, I was sure I'd added a boyfriend and subtracted a best friend. I should probably start at the beginning, but first, please like and subscribe. It all began on the day we were born. Yep, we. Bex and I were born on the same day in the same hospital. Our parents lived next door to each other, and our moms were inseparable. Soon, they were pregnant at the same time. I can't believe we're so close to meeting these little ones. I know, they're gonna be the best of friends. It's as if Bex's mom had a crystal ball because she was spot on. Bex arrived 17 minutes before me, and we've been BFFs since. She's always been kind of motherly to me, and she took her job as the oldest seriously.
We should clean up these toys and get a snack. But I was still playing with that. Did you pack your raincoat? It looks like it's gonna rain.
When I say we did everything together, I do mean everything. We went to dance class together.
Lacey, how are you so flexible? I feel like a statue next to you. Double jointed, I guess.
We were each other's biggest cheerleaders, and we told each other everything too. My parents were fighting again last night. I'm worried they won't make up.
Don't worry, babe. Your dad'll get a new job and that stress will just go away.
But then, one day, when we were 13, life as I knew it changed forever. Bex and I were walking home from school. We were on the crosswalk when suddenly a car came screeching through the red light at high speed. All I remember was the sound of metal and glass and the smell of burnt tires before I was hit with a huge force, and then everything went black. When I woke up, I found myself in the hospital. Oh, honey, thank goodness you're okay. What if something had happened to you? I couldn't do life without you, bestie.
Sweetheart, you just take everything easy now. You need to heal.
And I did heal, kind of. My body was fine, but my brain was broken. For some reason, every time I left my house, I was terrified. When I stepped outside my door, I could hear that car and I could smell the burnt rubber. My world shrank in an instant. The only place I could make it without a panic attack was across the 5 cement pavers that separated Bex's front door from mine. Anything else brought me paralyzing fear, and I even stopped attending school. Bex, can we just stay at my house today? I don't think I can go out. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just cancel with our friends. Bex, do you want to watch a movie at your house? I thought we might go to the mall. I really don't want to go anywhere. I think that's when Bex started to resent me, which made me feel guilty. I didn't mean to be this way. I didn't want to live the rest of my life inside a house, but everything just felt safer there. At least to me. To Bex, it must have felt like a prison. Ugh, we never do anything anymore. This is boring, Lacey. There's so much out there to see and do. I was ashamed. Why was it so hard for me to just go outside and act like a normal teenager? Bex, you can go to the party if you want. I'm gonna stay here. Are you sure? You could try coming, right? We can leave early. Couldn't you just try today for me? Who knows? It might not be as bad as you're imagining it. A party sounded about as much fun as scrubbing tiles with a toothbrush, but I decided to make an effort for Bex. I was sweating bullets, and my heart was pounding by the time we made it to the party. My friends from school seemed happy to see me though, and I started to relax just a bit. I sat down in a corner, not ready to join the dancing crowd yet. Maybe Bex was right. This wasn't so bad. But just then, a waiter carrying a tray of drinks suddenly tripped, and everything went crashing to the floor. The sound of the smashing glass sent me into a panic. I dove under the table and buried my head in my arms, crying hysterically. Everything went completely silent, and Bex tried her best to make me come out, but I couldn't move an inch. Eventually, she had to call my parents to come and take me. Lacey, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I've been trying to tell you. I can't go out, and now things are even worse. Everyone probably thought I acted like a freak. I'm not trying to hold you back, Bex. You want to go to parties? You can go without me. I won't mind. Okay then, maybe I will. A few nights later, I went over to Bex's house, but I found her brother Walker instead. He smiled, and I was distracted by the dimples on his cheeks.
Hey, Lace, Bex isn't here.
Whoa, when did Walker get so hot? He was usually always in the garage practicing with his band. He had a major glow up. Right, I forgot she might be out.
Is something the matter? You look a little glum.
I'm just bored, I guess.
Yeah, me too. Come on in.
That's how it all began. That night, Walker and I talked. I told him I was scared I'd be hit by a car again. I said that I'd felt trapped in my own mind. I told him I felt guilty keeping Bex from living her life, and about what happened at the party.
Don't be so hard on yourself. What happened to you was a huge trauma. Healing takes time. As for Bex, don't worry about her. She's your friend. She'll always be there for you.
Hearing Walker say that felt good. You're right, Walker. I just can't help it. Sometimes I feel like a freak from another planet. I'm sure everyone at school now thinks I'm a total weirdo. That was when Walker picked up his guitar and started strumming it.
Why does it matter what anyone thinks of you? It should only matter what you think of yourself. But for the record, I happen to think you're pretty great.
My heart skipped a beat when he said that, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like I had someone to talk to, someone who cared about me, someone who saw me. The next time Bex came to see me, I tried to bring up Walker. I saw your brother playing his guitar on the porch the other day. He's gotten really good. Also, really cute. Yeah, he's good. But my parents think it's a waste of time and he should focus more on his studies. Wait a minute, you think he's cute? Just an observation. He didn't look too bad from my window. You know he's off limits, right? Because the last time he dated a friend of mine and broke up with her, she shut me out completely. I never want him going near any of my friends again. I know all that, Bex. Don't worry. But soon, I was waiting for Bex to leave her house so I could go and spend time with Walker. Part of me felt like I was betraying her, but I was hooked on a feeling. The feeling I had every time I looked into Walker's eyes. It didn't take long for Walker to get hooked too.
All these years, and I didn't realize what a cool person you were. Bex kept you all to herself.
Walker and I started spending more and more time together. He told me he wanted to be a famous singer, but he didn't feel like anyone in his family supported his dreams. I did though. No one gets to tell you how big to dream, Walker. You can do anything you set your mind to.
I know my sister might kill me for saying this, but I feel like you understand me. I feel connected to you somehow.
He leaned in, and in one moment, his lips were on mine. All the tension I'd been feeling exploded, and I almost saw stars. My knees felt wobbly, and my head spun.
Whoa, you're perfect.
But I could only think about one thing. Bex was gonna kill us. Walker, we can't do this. Bex is my best friend.
So what? Don't give up on something that could be really good
between us. Don't you feel it? His hand brushed my cheek, and soon I was lost in his eyes again, leaning in for another kiss when, what's going on here? I pulled away from Walker like he was fire, and I'd just been burned. Bex, I can explain.
Explain what? Your spit-swapping fest with my brother? I told you I would never be okay with this. Oh no? It looks like I was just betrayed by the two of you. I don't want to look at either of you again.
Bex pushed her way past us, and I swear I felt my heart break. I stared at Walker, but with my chest so tight, I couldn't find any words. So I ran. I ran home to the safety of my bedroom, and that's where I stayed. For days, weeks, I missed Bex terribly, and even though I didn't want to admit it, I missed Walker too.
Honey, this isn't healthy for you. You need to leave the house.
I don't want to leave the house. I want to stay in bed and let my blankets swallow me whole.
No, go outside in the yard and get some fresh air. That's not a request. It's an order. Her tone told me she wasn't messing around, so I headed to the yard with my phone, a blanket, and a grudge. That's when I spotted Bex dressed in workout gear and running shoes, her attention focused on her phone. She stepped out onto the crosswalk, and that's when I heard the car. Then I saw it.
Bex, look out!
Huh? The idea of me getting hit by a car paralyzed me with fear, but the idea of Bex getting hit by a car was unthinkable. I tackled Bex to the ground so fast that we both just stared at each other, shocked and breathless. Lacey, you saved me. Of course I did. I can't do life without you, bestie. You're my best friend too. I didn't mean to kiss Walker, Bex. He just made me feel less alone. Bex looked ashamed. Walker told me everything. He said you inspired him and supported his music. He said you were like a song to him. And I'm sorry. I haven't been a good friend. I should have wanted you to be happy. I do want you to be happy.
Walker raced out of the house and came running to us. Stop fighting. You're friends.
We're not fighting. We're making up. If being with each other makes you happy, I want you to be happy. Both of you.
Bex, does that mean...
It means that Lacey can be your song again. With that, Bex left us standing there. Walker,
Be my girlfriend. No more secrets. No more hiding.
Yes. 100% yes.
You helped me believe in myself.
You did the same thing for me, Walker. I feel stronger now. Like I can do anything.
Anything?
Anything. Walker stepped forward, taking my hands in his.
Would you come to my first real gig? It's tomorrow, but only if you're ready.
I hadn't left my house to go anywhere but school for such a long time. But when I saw the hope in Walker's eyes and the support I would give him by going, I felt I could do it. I think I'm ready, Walker. Walker wrapped his arms around me, pulling me close for a kiss. Bex squealed and gave me a big hug. This is it, babe. My brother is living his dream.
I was born to workaholic parents, so I didn't see them much growing up. My babysitter didn't find me too interesting either. She'd spend hours watching TV, watching weird wrestling competitions on the TV, while I would spend endless hours drowning my face in fashion magazines. It was my dream to start my own clothing line someday, and it would be so successful that my parents wouldn't have to work another day in their life and spend all their time with me. When I turned 16, Mom and Dad got me admitted into one of the best schools in the city and took me shopping to get some new stuff. I was smitten by this gorgeous designer handbag.
Mom, can I have this, please?
Emma, that's $3,000. We can't afford that. Not after that expensive school. Really? You work so much, I thought we were rich.
Mom gave me a weird look and we left, but I couldn't take the bag off my mind, so I decided to make my own money. I made lemonade stands, mowed lawns, and walked every rich person's dog that needed a run, even ones twice my size. Wait, boy, not so fast! Right before the term started, I'd earned enough to buy a fake bag, and it looked somewhat similar. My first day, the entire parking lot was packed, but just then I found a cozy spot in corner. Slowly, I made my way in, feeling like a pro, until I heard an awful screeching sound. I'd hit a car and made a huge dent. While I was reeling in shock, calculating the damage, a tall boy stopped and stared at me.
Wow, that's as big as the Grand Canyon. Good job.
Sarcasm is not helping, dude. Do you have any idea whose car this is?
Let me see. Looks like mine.
Sure enough, he unlocked the door and tossed his backpack inside. My mind went into overdrive. How could he be so indifferent after I dented his very pricey-looking car? I'm so sorry. This is totally my fault. I'll make it up to you.
Cool. Get it repaired then.
I looked at him confused. There was no way I could afford to repair the damages. Before I could respond, he inched closer, and I swear he smelled like oranges.
Or you could agree to go on a date with me. Your call. Take your time. There's no rush. I'm Caleb, by the way.
He was cute, but I'd barely met the guy. I thought about it hard before saying yes, and later found out that Caleb was freaking rich. His dad owned a multi-million-dollar company, and basically everyone's parents at school worked for his father. He was like a huge deal. Caleb and I went on several dates after that, and I grew to like him. He was a great listener and totally grounded. I want to start a business of my own one day, like a super cute fashion line.
That sounds ambitious, but I'm sure you'll pull through. I can feel it.
A month later, when he asked me to be his girlfriend, he filled my car with roses and a giant stuffed teddy bear. I was happy, but the girls in school just went bonkers. On our first date as a couple, Caleb gifted me an expensive handbag, the original version of my fake one. Wow, that's awesome, but I can't take this.
You're my girlfriend now, and you only deserve the best.
Caleb insisted, and I couldn't say no. It was my favorite brand after all. One day after school, Caleb invited me to his place where he lived all by himself. While he swam in his private pool, I sketched new fashion designs in my journal. What do you think?
Very chic. You know you don't have to work, right? I'll have more than enough money to support us.
I know, but this is my dream, and I want to do this for myself.
Whatever floats your boat, love. Just remember, I'll always be there for you.
That summer, I decided to take a business class at a local community college, and I was by far the youngest one there. Not that I cared. I belonged there. I was busy concentrating on what the professor was saying when a heavy voice interrupted me.
So, Professor, you know all this from your successful businesses?
I turned around to see a cute guy in the back corner, leaning in his chair with his feet propped up on the desk.
Excuse me? I'm just saying, if you knew anything about marketing, you wouldn't be teaching.
They went back and forth for a while. My professor got angrier and angrier while the boy remained calm. I couldn't believe how rude he was, but I had to agree. He wasn't entirely wrong. After class, I decided to grab lunch at the college dining hall. I was finishing a sketch in my journal when that rude boy came behind me in line.
Is that meant for a unicorn?
Excuse me? So now you're a PhD in designing too?
That's designing? Let me show you something.
Listen, I don't know what your deal is, but you cannot insult. Before I could finish, he pulled out his phone and showed me a clothing website filled with plain black t-shirts, and they were listed at over $100 each.
This is my business.
These boring black tees? You could get these anywhere. He clicked a few apps and showed me his bank statements. The number almost made me fall backwards. How could this guy be making thousands of dollars selling regular old t-shirts? I don't get it. Why are you even taking classes?
What can I say? I'm a sucker for knowledge.
You're crazy.
Actually, I'm Eric, and you need a better teacher. Someone who knows how to make big bucks in real life and not some loser professor.
He went on to cut me in line and buy the cheapest thing on the menu. For a while, I avoided Eric like the plague. I didn't want my work associated with him, but the more I researched about his business, the more I realized I needed his expertise. He could sell t-shirts just from the hype alone. So that following week, I put my pride aside and asked him to tutor me. Little did I know, it would turn out to be my biggest mistake. He talked way too fast and laughed at all my questions. He even made me work the customer service line for his business to understand how businesses work. I complained about Eric to Caleb all day. He's so rude and mean. I don't even know how to deal with him.
Drop his classes then.
I can't do that. He's good at what he does, and I can genuinely learn so much from him.
Then take his attitude with a pinch of salt. Anyway, I have something that'll cheer you up. I want you to meet my parents.
I was shocked. I only ever saw his dad on billboards or on TV commercials. Being nervous was an understatement. We met them at an expensive Italian restaurant in town the next week. His dad stood up to shake my hand, but when I looked over his shoulder, I saw none other than my tutor sitting at the same table.
You must be Emma. We've heard great things.
Just then, Caleb saw Eric too, and he seemed mad.
What are you doing here? Not even a hello, brother?
Brother? My head spun in a million circles. Eric and Caleb? Brothers? Caleb looked ready to fight him until their father got in between them.
I invited him here, son. He's still family.
Caleb backed off, but I was still in shock. And to make matters worse, Eric pretended he'd never met me. Caleb's parents ordered me all kinds of delicious courses, but I couldn't find the stomach to eat anything. And after dinner, Caleb took me straight home and angrily drove off without saying goodbye. During our next tutoring session, I was still fuming when Eric walked up. Why didn't you tell me about your family?
You never asked. And besides, I didn't think we're that close.
What do you mean? You're related to my boyfriend and you…
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. You're not really his type, to be honest.
That's not the point. I can't deal with this. I'm leaving.
Wait, Emma, I'm sorry. I was just being a jerk.
I calmed down as Eric spoke that he had been estranged from his family for 2 years because he refused to take over the family business. His clothing line was a result of wanting to prove he could make something successful without being connected to them. Part of me understood. I still wanted to pursue my clothing line dream, even though Caleb said I didn't have to. When I told Eric, he didn't laugh, but he seemed impressed.
Take out your computer. You're making a website today.
Eric helped me create my website from scratch. As usual, he was going super fast and I scrambled to keep up. But when I looked in my laptop reflection and saw him laugh, he looked different to me, almost attractive. Snap out of it, Emma. He's your boyfriend's brother. My website was good, but for the first few days, I didn't get many orders. But I didn't lose hope and continued sketching and building my brand. I worked on them for days until one night I got a call from Caleb and he sounded a bit off. Want to talk about it?
Not really, but I have a surprise for you.
Caleb told me that he'd put my name in a small fashion show for new designers. I couldn't believe it. Oh, you really shouldn't have.
Yes, I should, and yes, I will. I've decided to be more supportive of your dream.
Thank you. I was over the moon that day, but when I told Eric, he didn't sound as impressed.
It's just a small show.
Yeah, but it's big for me. And maybe after this, I might actually get some customers. You will come to the show, won't you?
You're inviting me?
Well, you've helped me get this far. It would be rude of me not to. When the day came, I peered at the audience behind the curtain. I was blown away to see Eric sitting in the back row. I was glad he showed up. Too glad to admit. Once my models were ready, they were off strutting down the catwalk wearing my designs. Surprisingly, the audience went crazy. I walked out and bowed with the last model and then jumped into Caleb's arms. Behind his shoulder, Eric was watching and he looked irritated. By the time I made my way to the back of the room, Eric was gone. The show had tremendously boosted my sales. Caleb invited me to his parents' home to celebrate.
My brother will be there. Sorry.
Why do you hate him so much?
He's a total jerk. Anyone would kill to get my father's business, but he would rather do his own thing. Whatever. Joke's on him. I get the business now.
Caleb's words didn't sit right with me, but I kept it to myself. We got to his mansion, and my eyes instantly started searching for Eric, but he didn't show up. We were halfway into the party when Eric strode through the door with a girl.
Guess I wasn't missed. Mom, Dad, this is Angelica.
My stomach turned. Since when did Eric have a girlfriend? By the looks on everyone's faces, they were thinking the same thing.
Angelica's a model from New York. She has her own beauty brand.
The more I watched them interact, the more I felt sick. It didn't make sense to me why I cared so much. Caleb, however, seemed to care for different reasons.
That's so typical. Inviting people without asking Dad? Ugh, spare me for not being Dad's little saint.
Suddenly, Caleb's dad flew into a rage, making Eric's date shrink away from the scene.
That's enough, Eric. If you don't want to be part of this family, then stay out. Gladly, Father. Gladly.
He turned and left the party. I found myself following him. Eric, wait. I'm sure he didn't mean it.
And you've known them for what, a week? Now you're an expert?
I looked into his eyes and saw there was pain there, even though he tried to hide it. You do care. You act like you don't, but you do. His face was so tense, I thought he would snap. Instead, he sighed and turned away.
Just leave me alone.
Listen, I need to… As I rushed behind Eric, my toe caught on a bump in the sidewalk and the ground rushed up to me. When I sat up, my ankle was throbbing, and Eric swooped me up in his arms. As he carried me back, I couldn't stop myself from falling for him. I knew this was wrong. I was with Caleb, but Eric was so much kinder and helpful and sort of a jerk, but he was always there when I needed him. After that day, I decided to keep my distance from Eric. Caleb was my boyfriend, and I couldn't betray him. I spent my days working on making my business better, and one day, my brand ended up exploding all over social media. I had to investigate, so I went online and did some online digging. The root of it, I discovered, was none other than Eric's site where he'd promoted my line. He also left me an email in my inbox.
I know you don't want any boosts or freebies, but us entrepreneurs have to stick together. Enjoy the extra press. You've worked hard and you deserve it. Sincerely, your tutor.
I wanted to find him and thank him, but Caleb told me he was leaving the country to open up a store in England, and he was taking off that night.
Good riddance.
You don't care that you'll never see your own brother again?
Not really, no. But why do you care so much?
I don't. I was just...
Wait, please don't tell me you have feelings for my brother. You do, don't you?
Before I could say anything, Caleb snapped.
After I supported your dumb business, you went behind my back and cheated on me with my brother?
Caleb, I didn't cheat on you.
Ugh, it's smothered all over your face. Dad was right about you. You're classless and...
Shut up! You're the worst, Caleb. I had no idea you thought so low of me, but I'm glad you told me now. And by the way, eat bugs. We're done. I was horrified with how mean Caleb was, and after that day, I broke all ties with him. I tried calling Eric multiple times, but he never returned my call. So, I guess that was done too. Some months later, I opened up a popular boutique in the city, keeping Eric's note at the bottom of my register. I tried to keep my mind off him as best as I could, and decorated my office with selfies of my parents enjoying their vacation in Greece. One night, just as I was closing the boutique, I heard a voice behind me.
Does this come in amends?
Eric! I rushed and hugged him tight.
That's a reaction I could live for. Now tell me, do you have a size larger? I ate too many burgers in England.
Taking the shirt he was holding, I went into the back room and found a large for him to try on. He too handed me one of his overpriced t-shirts. How is it?
I feel like a unicorn. What about yours?
Oh, you know, feels like a regular old t-shirt. Laughing, he grabbed my shirt and pulled me in for a kiss. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always loved to sing. My grandma was a professional singer. She sang around the world with the most prestigious orchestras and operas. I miss her and her voice so much. When I got to 10th grade, I became the singer of the family. I went to the most prestigious performing arts school on the West Coast. My favorite class was music, of course, and my favorite club so far was show choir. We had been the best in the state for 14 years, with the trophies to prove it. My best friend Addison is also in show choir with me. He and I met in kindergarten and have been inseparable ever since. He's the funniest guy I've ever known. He's also gotten pretty cute over the years too. Or at least, that's what all the girls in school think. But I just don't see him that way. Hard to see someone that way when they used to sneak over from next door and put frogs in your bed. Yuck. One day, our show choir teacher, Miss Conrad, had big news for us.
We've been asked to compete at this year's National Show Choir Competition.
All right!
Yeah!
But to ensure we get top scores, the soloists will have to be chosen very carefully. Miss Conrad told us that we were going to have to audition for the big solo right in front of each other in 1 week. My nemesis, Heidi, started bragging in front of the whole group. We all know who's going to get it. Me, of course. Everyone knows I have the stage presence of a star.
I don't know. I think Kaylee might give you a run for your money. She's got star power and the voice to match.
The others' eyes widened. Were they about to fight? Just then, the bell rang. As everyone left the class, I swatted Addison on the arm. Don't start fights with Heidi. She's my biggest competition.
That's exactly why you have to stand up for yourself in front of her.
I just don't want anyone to think I think I'm better than her.
Well then, I guess that's why I'm here. To remind them for you.
What would I do without you?
Good thing we'll never have to find out.
I was so nervous, even though I'd sung in front of our choir before, but the pressure was on. The whole week leading up to auditions, I practiced. In the shower, in the car, between classes. I really wanted to beat out Heidi for the big solo at the end of the show. Finally, audition day arrived. I woke up, put on my cutest outfit, curled my hair, and took extra time with my makeup. After all, if I'm gonna be a big star one day, I might as well start dressing like it now. When I stepped out of my house to walk to school with Addison, his cheeks turned super red. What's wrong?
Nothing. You, just look different is all. Your hair is...
Oh no, does it look bad? Maybe I should have worn it up. I'll just go change.
No, leave it. You look good. Great.
When I arrived in class, Heidi was sitting in the front row looking totally perfect. What was I thinking? With her shiny hair, big eyes, and as much as I hated to admit it, her beautiful voice, why would anyone ever look twice at me? But I just tried to remember what my grandma would always say. It's not about who sings the loudest or looks the prettiest. As long as your song comes from your heart, people can't help but listen. So I took a deep breath and sat down next to Heidi, right in the front row. She gave me a once-over and rolled her eyes. Who cared what she thought? I knew I looked great. Miss Conrad sat down at the piano and called Heidi up first. After she finished singing, I applauded politely, along with everyone else. Then, it was my turn. I stood confidently and turned to face everyone. Addison gave me a thumbs up from the back row. Such a good friend. Miss Conrad played the opening notes for my song when suddenly, the door to the classroom burst open behind me. I turned to look, and standing in the doorway was the most handsome boy I'd ever seen. Tall, with long brown hair that fell perfectly into his eyes. He looked just like a fairy tale prince. My jaw dropped. He handed a note to Miss Conrad.
Class, this is our newest addition, Patrick.
He waved to everyone, then put his hand on my shoulder, looked deep into my eyes and said,
I'm so sorry I interrupted your audition. Knock 'em dead.
Then he took my seat right in the front row. I gulped. Oh, now I was nervous again. I shook off my nerves, took a deep breath, and nodded to Miss Conrad. As she played, I could feel the music filling me up, all the way to the top. I opened my mouth to sing and let my song come from my heart. When I finished, the whole class burst into applause. I felt like I was walking on air. Patrick got up to sing something last minute. He was so good. The next day, Miss Conrad put up the list, and I had gotten the solo. And she'd even added a duet in the middle of the show for Patrick to sing with me.
Looks like it's you and me, Kaylee. I'm so honored to be singing with someone as talented as you.
I felt my cheeks turn red, and he grinned.
You're so cute when you blush like that. Be careful, or I might just fall in love.
He walked away with a wink at me. I couldn't believe he'd just said that, and neither could Heidi, who'd been listening around the corner. Don't get too comfy with that solo. Once Miss Conrad figures out that you'll cave at the first sign of pressure, I'll be ready to step in. Eavesdrop much? Jealousy isn't your color, Heidi. The next day, we started rehearsing for nationals. Everyone was working so hard, and Patrick and I sounded great together. But when it came to our dance, it was like I'd suddenly grown a second left foot. No, Kaylee, no. Once more from the top. Miss Conrad, I'm happy to come up front and show Kaylee how it's done.
Not necessary, but thank you, Heidi.
Just here for the team. After I knocked Patrick over by mistake for the third time, Miss Conrad called it a day.
Kaylee, please go home and practice.
Ugh, I could have wiped that smug look off of Heidi's face. Everyone went to start packing up their bags, and I started to head backstage to get my bag when Patrick came up to me.
Hey, gorgeous. Want to stay and practice a little with me? Then it'll be perfect by tomorrow.
Oh, I wouldn't want to impose. Your toes must be all bruised.
That's okay. I really don't mind. And I wouldn't mind spending a little quality time with my co-star.
Well, if you insist. Just then, Addison came up to us.
Hey, Kaylee, ready to go?
That's okay. I should really practice a little longer.
I can practice with you. I could use a few run-throughs myself.
Oh, well, Patrick already offered to stay behind and practice with me here.
He did he? How are you gonna get home? I can drive her. Oh, do you live in our neighborhood? No, but, I mean, if it's not really convenient for you, I'm not spending time with Kaylee because it's convenient. Neither am I. I'm spending time with her because she's cool.
My face turned bright red. Did he really mean that? Addison, I'm gonna stay here too, just for a bit to practice. I'll see you later, okay?
Fine, if you insist. I'll, see you when you get home.
He turned on his heel and walked out. Patrick turned to me with a grin on his face and held out his hand.
Shall we?
We practiced more, and I was finally getting good. Patrick swung me out for our final spin, then pulled me in close and dipped me. That's when I noticed his face was just so close, his ice blue eyes staring deep into mine. Was he gonna kiss me? Just then, all the lights in the theater went out. Patrick dropped me in shock, and I shrieked. All of a sudden, the lights came back on, and Miss Conrad stepped back on stage.
Oh, hey kids. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were still here.
Ugh, I couldn't believe she'd interrupted our moment. Still, we waved goodbye to her and headed out. A little while later, when Patrick dropped me off, he got out of his car to open my door. Such a gentleman.
It was nice hanging out tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, superstar.
Then he wrapped his arms around me and gave me a big hug. Is this what heaven smelled like? Then I headed up the front walk to my door.
So do you like him or something?
I whipped around and saw Addison waiting on our front porch swing. I don't know, maybe. He's so cute and really talented.
Okay. Cool, I guess. Do you still want to practice?
That's okay, I think I got it now.
Okay then. Well, then I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Here, I got you a milkshake.
Hey, thanks. He started crossing the yard towards his house. Is it?
Cookies and cream, your favorite.
Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow?
You know it.
Then it was finally time for nationals. As we arrived at the concert hall, I was overwhelmed by all the other groups here and overheard one girl say to another,
She was a little flat at the end.
I couldn't believe it. What if I lost us the whole competition? All night and throughout all our warm-ups the next day, it was all I could think about. If I messed up again, I'd be letting everyone down, including myself. And there were several famous music industry people judging the competition. What if I ended my career as a singer before it even started? And then, it was almost time to go up. I tried to calm down, but I was shaking like a leaf. Miss Conrad, Kaylee doesn't look so good. Miss Conrad came over. She looked pretty nervous herself.
Kaylee, you look terrible. Are you going to be able to perform?
Of course,
Because if you're sick, I can always put Heidi on.
I'm ready to go, Miss Conrad. Just then, I spotted Patrick warming up down the hall. I just need a minute. I raced down the hall towards him. He was stretching, shaking out his hands, jumping up and down. Patrick? His expression was so strange. Was he nervous too? I'm so nervous. Do you think we could practice?
Kaylee, I'm kind of busy.
What if we...
I really just need some space here, Kaylee.
Yesterday, you said we were a team. That doesn't feel like a team to me.
I can't do this right now. Could you leave me alone?
Fighting back tears, I ran down the hall and found a corner backstage. I couldn't let anyone see me so upset, especially not Miss Conrad or Heidi. What was I gonna do? Suddenly, Addison stepped out of the shadows. He looked so handsome in his costume.
Kaylee, are you okay?
I threw my arms around him. He caught me and squeezed tight. I'm so nervous. I overheard one of the other teams say I sounded bad. Miss Conrad is ready to replace me with Heidi. Patrick isn't any help, and there's amazing industry people out there, and... Ugh!
You sounded amazing in rehearsal. Those other teams were just jealous. Forget about Patrick and Heidi. Remember why you love to sing. What was it your grandma always said?
Sing from your heart?
Exactly. Just do that.
I took a few deep breaths, and Addison was right. Will you just run the last part of the number with me?
Of course.
And there, in our little corner of the theater, we stepped, we twirled, we kicked in time together. Addison took my hand, spun me around, and dipped me low. I felt his arm slip. He was dropping me, but right before I was sure I'd hit the ground, he caught me with a twinkle in his eye. I swatted his arm. You tricked me.
I'd never drop you, and even if I did, I'll always be here to catch you.
Thank you, Addison. Then he smiled at me so genuinely, and my heart fell into my stomach. What was that?
Places, please, students, places.
Kaylee, are you ready? Yes, Miss Conrad. As we all rushed to take our spots to start our number, Addison shot me a wink.
Knock 'em dead, superstar.
You too! As soon as the lights came up on stage, I felt a little thrill of excitement. We danced, we sang, we twirled. Everyone had brought their A-game. When it came time for my duet with Patrick, we totally nailed it. But any spark that had been there was gone. As the opening chords of my solo began, the lights shined down on me, and I opened my mouth, and the music poured from my heart. I knew my grandma was right there with me. I hit my final note and held it out forever as everyone finished their steps behind me. As we struck our final pose, the crowd erupted into applause, a standing ovation. I beamed. We totally nailed it! That night, after all the points had been tallied, all the teams gathered on stage behind the judges. Addison reached for my hand and I squeezed back. Thanks for the pep talk. I could have never done it without you.
Of course you could have. I'm just here to remind you.
You're always there for me. He leaned in close, and I felt a flutter in my stomach as he whispered in my ear.
And I always will be, if you let me.
I turned to look directly in his eyes.
Kaylee, I have to tell you.
Just then, the announcer started announcing the winners. Second place, runner-up. Our whole team clasped hands and took a deep breath together.
And the grand prize for this year's National Show Choir competition goes to...
As they said our name, the crowd roared. It was so loud I could hardly think. Confetti rained down on us as Miss Conrad stepped forward to accept our trophy. I threw my arms around Addison and he picked me up, swinging me in a circle. We did it! We did it! As we packed up our things in the dressing room and said goodbye to the new friends we'd made at the competition, one of the judges knocked on our dressing room door. He was an exec for a record label back in LA.
I was so impressed with you. Your vocals were so clear, and you've got some real presence up there. Give me a call if you think you'd be interested in recording a single.
He handed me his card, and I shook his hand, totally awestruck. Maybe dreams really do come true. I felt so relieved. Not only had I not let everyone down, but I'd made myself proud. On the bus, Addison dropped down in the seat beside me, running a hand through his hair. When he saw me watching him, he grinned, and the butterflies were back.
I'm totally beat, aren't you?
Definitely. I, got you something.
Oh yeah?
I pulled out a bag of gummy worms. Your favorite.
You're the best, Kay.
He ripped open the bag and dug in. Hey, Addison, what was it you were gonna tell me earlier?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, I have something I want to tell you.
Yeah?
I like you.
Really?
Really.
I like you too. I have for a while now.
Really?
Really.
He took my hand, and I know my cheeks turned pink.
I got something for you too.
Ooh, okay. I love presents. And then he put his hand on my cheek, leaned in close, and kissed me. It was the perfect end to a perfect day. I'm just a normal high school student and have the most normal, boring life of anyone I know. All the other kids at school got to do exciting things during spring break. Sarah B. traveled to Prague with her family. Kara got to go to Cancun. Priyanka went skydiving. The most interesting thing I did was clean up my dog Lulu's poop. But it wasn't anyone's fault but mine. Sure, it's true, my parents couldn't afford to take me on fancy trips like that. They only ran a restaurant together and all their money went back into the business, and they needed me to help out after school. But the truth is, they would have let me do anything I wanted, but I was too scared. I could never go skydiving or even flying to another country like Prague. My whole life, I had been scared of everything, and I was sick of it. Just once, I wished I could go on an adventure of my own, but I had to look at everyone else having a great life through Instagram. And sometimes I couldn't even look at their photos because my stupid phone was constantly acting up. I was telling Kara all this while we picked up our food at lunch, and she said, "Well, if you're too scared to do anything, you can't really complain about not doing anything. Not to be harsh, you know, but it's your life. You're the one who has to live it." You know what, Kara? You're right. The next time I get an opportunity to do something fun or crazy or scary, I'll do it. With a newfound determination, I shook Kara's hand, but when I sat down, I sat on my phone and saw that it was dialing some random number. I held it to my ear, but there was only a strange static sound, but it seemed to be mostly okay. After school, my friend Kara and I were at my parents' restaurant studying for the history test. I don't know why you don't like this place. I'd be so happy if my parents had a restaurant and I could eat free breadsticks every day. You're eating free breadsticks now. A man came into the restaurant just then. He wasn't like our usual customers. He had a nice suit on and dark sunglasses. It seemed like he was looking for someone. His eyes landed on me and I looked down at my textbook. It was none of my business. Kara nudged me, and when I looked up again, the man was standing right in front of our booth.
Agent Dark, I'm Agent West. I need you to come with me.
I stared at him, dumbfounded. Was this a prank?
Please, Agent Dark, we don't have much time.
My name is Allison.
No real names. In case one of us is captured, the less we know about each other, the better.
My heart was pounding. Was this guy for real? None of what he was saying made any sense. Agent Dark and I were just finishing up. She's ready now. What? I couldn't believe it. Why would she do that? She kicked me under the table and looked at me as if to say, "What are you waiting for? He looks like a Greek god."
Would you excuse us, sir?
She dragged me up and pulled me to the corner.
This is your big chance. Adventure, no fear.
You said you would take your next opportunity, remember?
I didn't mean this.
I don't know anything about being a spy or fighting. I'm boring, remember? That's the only thing anyone knows about me. And guess what? It's true.
Yeah, but that's not what you want. This is it, Allie.
You either go and do this thing with this random, beautiful Greek god of a man, or you stay boring and safe forever. Remember, in life, nothing changes unless you change it. Maybe she was right. It was time to do something crazy, to finally step out of my comfort zone. I stood up. My mom glanced over from me from the kitchen window. "Are you leaving, honey? Why don't you and your friends take some breadsticks with you?" I grabbed the sticks and nodded to Agent West, who led me out of the restaurant by the hand. A black car was waiting for us outside. We both got into the back seat, and the car rolled out of the parking lot. I couldn't see the driver. There was a partition separating the front of the car from the back. Agent West breathed a sigh of relief. "We were so glad to finally get your signal. We thought you were captured, or worse."
"What signal?"
"The access code. You called in yesterday. The numbers you put in. We know it was you. Don't try to back out now." I thought hard. What code? What numbers? But then I remembered yesterday when I was eating lunch in the cafeteria. I sat on my phone. The butt dial. That was totally random, though. What were the odds that I sat on my phone in just the right way to dial a secret number and enter the correct 16-digit secret password? Maybe I should buy lottery tickets. Agent West was quiet for most of the ride. I had a million questions, but I was afraid if I opened my mouth, the truth would spill out, and my adventure would be over before it started. Finally, the car slowed down and parked. I stopped and stared as I got out. We were in the circle drive of a mansion. Not one of those fake McMansions either. Like a real, gigantic, beautiful palace. It looked like royalty lived there, or at least a really wealthy athlete. Agent West removed something draped over a hanger from the trunk and held it out to me. "Put this on." I ducked into the back seat and changed as fast as I could. Thankfully, the partition was still up and the windows were almost as black as the paint. When I emerged, Agent West's jaw dropped. I was in a glittering blue dress. I didn't have a mirror, but judging by Agent West's expression, the dress must have looked pretty good. "Everything all right?" He pulled himself together and we approached the entrance. "Your mission is to distract the ambassador. That'll give me time to crack the safe and steal the device." "Distract him how?" "I'm sure you'll think of something." If anything, the inside was even more gorgeous. Spiral staircase, crystal chandelier, guests in glamorous attire all around. "That's the ambassador over there." A small man with a mean, pinched face sipped champagne by himself in the corner. "I don't think I can do this. I'm just a student. I'm not trained." Agent West took my hands. "Don't panic. They wouldn't have chosen you for this mission if they didn't know you were capable. Besides, I believe in you." I gulped. It was nice to hear, but was it really me he believed in, or just the person he thought I was? Taking a closer look at him, Agent West didn't seem to be much older than I was. But how could a high school freshman be an international spy? Maybe he just looked young. Then it clicked. I knew what I had to do to make it through this mission. From this moment on, I would pretend to be the person they thought I was. If she was brave, poised and confident and quick on her feet, then I would be too. I nodded to Agent West and he slipped away. I grabbed a glass of champagne from a passing server's tray. I started walking, took a sip. I immediately spit it out. Gross. I set the glass down on another server's tray and walked right up to the ambassador. He stared at me grumpily. I smiled back, but I didn't know what to say. Was I supposed to introduce myself? Suddenly, I was mad. Agent West had left me here by myself with no preparation and no plan. At a strange place surrounded by strange new people? How did I even know he was who he said he was? Maybe he worked for the bad guys. Who were the bad guys? I stopped and took a breath. I didn't think he worked for the bad guys. Remember, I told myself, you're not Allie, a boring, ordinary freshman at Claremont High. You're Agent Dark, international spy extraordinaire. Breadstick? I offered a breadstick from my purse. The ambassador's angry face broke into a delighted smile.
Don't mind if I do.
A little while later, Agent West appeared and pulled me away from the ambassador. I had done such a good job charming him that he seemed disappointed to see me leave. He even wanted me to meet his daughter. Agent West and I snuck out onto the balcony. The city lights sparkled in front of us. I got it. I didn't even know what it was, but I was happy the mission was a success. You were incredible tonight, Agent Dark. I couldn't have done it without you. That made me feel even better. Like maybe I wasn't here by mistake, and I was capable. Can't you tell me your real name? You already know mine. I'm Zane. Nice to meet you, Zane. The sounds of the party were faint. Here on the balcony, it was quiet. Just me and Agent West, Zane. He peered into my eyes. My heart began to pound. He leaned in to kiss me. An alarm went off just before our lips met. It was a deafening wail. There were shouts inside, people scrambling everywhere.
We have to go.
He hopped off the balcony railing onto some vines climbing up the mansion wall. I froze. That didn't look very stable. I looked down at the distant gravel below. Then I heard more shouting inside. It sounded angry. I glanced through the sliding glass doors. 2 burly security guards noticed me. One pointed right at me, and they hurried toward the glass. I turned back to Agent West. He held out his hand. The security guards were almost there. I took another deep breath. Remember, Allie, what would Agent Dark do? Just as the security guards crashed through the doors, I took Agent West's hand and leaped off the balcony. He tugged the vine loose, and we slid all the way down, the ground coming up fast. We swung safely onto the circle drive, landed on our feet. The black car was already waiting for us. We dove into the back seat, and the driver hit the gas hard. We sped off, leaving the out-of-breath security guards in the dust. My adrenaline was pumping. I looked over at Agent West, and we both burst out laughing. Later, Agent West walked me to my front door. We stood on the steps, both quiet and giddy from our close call.
Thanks for everything, Allison. You're even more impressive than your reputation.
That's right. Take that, Agent Dark. Call me Allie.
Good night, Allie.
Good night, Zane. When I finally went back to school the next day, I felt a new sense of confidence. All my fears were gone. While Priyanka and Sarah B. talked about their adventures skydiving or going to Prague, I had to keep my mouth shut and just pretend like I was jealous. They would never know that I got to be a secret spy. At least Kara knew. And I looked amazing in that dress. Speaking of, that dress was too nice to wear only once. I decided to go to the dance with it. When I got there, everyone was buzzing in the halls. I had no clue what all the commotion was about. And then, there he was, Zane, in a tux and a vest.
You look familiar.
I glared at him. I wasn't sure I was in the mood for jokes when I hadn't heard a word from him in weeks. You know, you could have texted or called or sent a flying pigeon or something.
I know. I'm sorry I just disappeared like that. I had to go radio silent until the heat died down. I was afraid if I contacted you, I might put you in danger.
Yeah, well, I like danger, don't you know? I've jumped off balconies. I think I can handle a phone call. As mad as I am, I have to say, I'm glad to see you and I'm happy you're safe.
Well, I appreciate that. I know I'm probably too late, but I wanted to ask you, just in case.
I waited, nervous. Did he need me for another mission? I wasn't sure I was ready for that kind of excitement again so soon. Especially considering we'd almost been caught last time. What would have happened to me if I hadn't taken the leap off that balcony? Jail? Worse? I was okay with life being a little boring sometimes.
Do you have a date for the dance?
That's one mission I was happy to accept. I do now. Together, we walked in like some power couple from a magazine cover or something. I finally felt like I wasn't just some scared, boring girl who had to get all her excitement from watching my friends' vacation videos. It's true, a high school dance may not have been as glamorous as an evening undercover at an ambassador's house. But it didn't have to be, because now I knew I didn't have to be afraid. I was much braver than I ever believed. Facing my fears made me realize I can do anything as long as I don't let it stop me. While we danced and I kissed Zane. Finally realizing I had the power to change my life and become the person I wanted to be. Even without all the action,
I knew I had no reason to be afraid anymore.
Everyone knew Mark was a jerk. I would always see him harassing one of the shy kids in the halls at school. One day, I had had enough. So I marched up to him and yelled, "Hey, stop bullying people, you're hurting their feelings." Mark was stunned. No one had ever stood up to him before. The shy kid ran away and we were left staring at each other. I was scared of what he would do or say, but he didn't really do or say anything. He only looked down like he was really sad and walked away. I was so shocked, and I had to admit, I felt kind of bad. I never yelled at anyone before, and I only did it because I thought he would get mad. But seeing him sad made me feel terrible. The next day, the entire hallway stunk. Everyone was trying to find out where the smell was coming from. As soon as I got close to my locker, I knew something was wrong. I opened it to find that it was yesterday's fish sandwich. It had been put in there and left all night. I almost puked. That's when I saw Mark smiling from down the hall. He was wearing those big, stupid headphones he always wore, and he even waved to me. All the guilt I had disappeared. I was gonna get him back. Just needed to figure out how. All day, I snuck behind him, following, watching, like a stealthy ninja. Every move he made, I was right there, but he never saw me. I noticed him writing in his notebook all day, in every class, but he was never prepared with the assignments. So I knew whatever he was writing, it wasn't homework. The notebook became my obsession. I needed to know what was in it so I could use it against him, but he never left the thing alone. It was always right beside him. Finally, in English class, he went to the bathroom. But he was smart, or should I say paranoid enough, to put the notebook in his bag. I pretended to drop my pencil and crawled to his bag. I couldn't take the whole notebook without being discovered, so I just opened the zipper, and I hoped that would be enough for the notebook to fall out when he took his bag. And then, when the bell rang and class was done, he put his earphones on again, picked up the bag, and the notebook fell out. He didn't hear it, of course, so I ran and grabbed it. I ran home and read it. It wasn't jokes or anything mean. It was poems, and they were all really sad and beautifully written. I almost cried reading them. Suddenly, I understood why he was so mean to people. It sounded like his dad was really mean to him at home and made him feel like he was nothing at all. There was a time when we were little in kindergarten when Mark would tear up the notes that came with school lunches from other kids' moms. I thought he was such a jerk for doing that. But one day, one kid's lunch had 2 notes, and one was for Mark. I guess that mom heard what he was doing and thought maybe it was because he didn't get notes. Mark never ripped up the notes again. I had totally forgotten that, but now reading his journal, I remembered he was in foster care, which meant the people he lived with weren't even his real parents and maybe they didn't want him at all. I guess if you feel like an insect, being a bully is probably the only thing you can do to feel like you have any say in your life. I wrote him a letter and said it wasn't his fault that he felt like that. I finished the letter and put it in his notebook. When I saw him at school the next day, I felt totally different about him. I saw the sadness in him and how no one paid any attention at all to him. And I admit, I swooned a little when I realized he was actually pretty cute. I got the notebook out and walked up to him with it.
Is that mine?
It, fell out of your bag yesterday.
And you didn't give it back?
I got busy, sorry. I gave it to him. He opened it and saw my letter. He read it there as I stood watching, my cheeks getting redder and redder by the second.
You read my journal?
He kept his eyes on the page, like he couldn't face me. I understand why you're mean to people, but before I could finish, he ripped my letter from the notebook and dropped it on the floor.
Don't ever read my stuff without permission again.
All the good feelings I had for him disappeared. Didn't he know how hard I worked on that letter? How much I cared? Not to mention, I bore my soul to him. I got red again, but this time, it wasn't embarrassment. It was rage. That night, I told my mom everything. She told me, "Honey, you tried to do something nice, and that's great, but you read his private journal without asking. You invaded his privacy. I'm the only person who saw him. Everyone else ignores him." I understand, but that doesn't make him any less worthy of having privacy, does it? I went to my room without talking to her for the rest of the night. How could she not see what I had done? I put my heart on the line and got rejected. I did the right thing. All I wanted was to help him and let him know I understood. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept tossing and turning, thinking about how he acted. but also what my mom said and how violated I would feel if someone read my diary. After barely sleeping a wink and finally calming down so I wasn't so angry anymore, I decided she was right. As soon as I got to school, I would apologize to him, and that would be that. I practiced my speech the entire walk to school that morning. Every word I would say, every gesture, I wanted to be understood and let him know that I understood him too. But when I got to school, I was horrified to see that there were printed posters of me all over the halls. They had my school photo and said Maggie is a stalker. Everyone was looking at me. I ran to the bathroom and cried. How could he do that to me? Maybe I was wrong to think he had any good in him at all. I wanted to run away and go home, but we had a big test that day, so I had to sit in class after class while the other kids whispered about me. I sat in all my classes getting angrier and angrier, waiting for my last class when I would finally see him. I couldn't wait to confront that jerk. When I finally saw him, he smirked at me. I stomped right up to him and yelled, "Tell them it was you."
It was me.
"Tell them it's not true."
It is true. You read my journal.
I was so frustrated. All I could think of was to scream. Ah! The teacher came up to both of us and gave me detention for yelling in class and gave him detention for pulling the prank. When we were both in detention, I made sure I was looking out the window or at the ceiling. Anywhere as long as we were not looking at each other. And of course, he starts whistling. I had to grind my teeth to keep from yelling again. Then the teacher left to get a coffee and we were left alone. It was so awkward. After a while, he took out his notebook and was reading something inside really intently. I had to admit I was curious about what it was. And then he wrote something and I was so mad at myself for even caring, but I did. I wanted to know what it was. As much as he annoyed me, I really did like his poems. But then I remembered his prank and ignored him. It was so mean. How could he do that?
Did you really mean what you wrote in your letter?
I couldn't believe he was actually talking to me. Yes, of course, but how do you remember? You threw it away.
After I put all the posters up, I went back and found it in the trash.
He took out a paper from his journal. It was my letter.
No one's ever seen me the way you did.
Then the bell rang and detention was finally over. He moved to the door, but before he could leave, I said, "I'm sorry about reading your journal, but I really like your poems." He turned and looked me in the eyes and said,
"Can you come to my house tomorrow?"
I was shocked and couldn't speak for a minute. Before I realized it, I said, "Yes." He ripped a piece of paper from the journal and gave it to me. It had his address and a note for me. I read it when he left. It said,
"To the girl who saw through me. Usually, everyone sees past what I am, or I might become. But when you looked, you saw something more. To them I am glass, cold and cracked. But to you I am water, living and essential. I have never been seen before. It scared me. Thank you. I'm sorry."
Again, I swooned. The next day was a Saturday, so I went to his house and heard yelling as soon as I got close. The house was small and the yard kinda dirty. I knocked on the door and Mark came out, holding a guitar. His right eye was bruised. He moved past me, walking toward a path in the woods across the street.
"Are you coming?"
I followed him all the way down to the shore of a lake I didn't even know was there. He sat down, and I sat down beside him, wondering what he was thinking.
"You said you liked my poems."
I did.
"They're not poems, they're songs."
"Oh, can I hear one?"
"I've never played for anyone before."
"You don't put yourself out there. That's why people don't pay attention." He hesitated, then played the guitar and sang one of the songs. He sang about his fears, his sadness, and about feeling like a monster for having to put people down to make himself feel big. When he was done, he wiped a tear and said he would have to go back or his foster dad would be angry. He left me there by the lake as I watched the sunset over the water. I knew I was falling in love with him. When I got home, my mom told me the one thing that would ruin everything just as it was all getting so good. We were moving across the country. She told me she was sorry, but we had no choice. When I saw him across the lawn at school, he smiled at me. I practically melted, but my smile faded quickly. He knew something was wrong. He came up and walked with me.
"Are you okay?"
"I have to move." His eyes immediately lost their light. I could tell he was devastated. "What are you thinking?"
"It's selfish."
"It's okay. Tell me."
"You're the only one who sees me."
"Maybe that's true right now, but it doesn't have to be. Your songs are beautiful."
"I don't know how to talk to people. I don't relate to anyone."
"Of course you do. We all have pain. We all get bullied. Even you. He thought about what I said, then a smile crept on his face and he looked right at me. My heart stopped when I saw his eyes. They were bright and full of hope.
I never thought about that. Thank you. I can't believe you're moving away.
I know. We both looked down, sad for ourselves because of how little time we had together. And then I raised my head and said, "You know what? We're here now, right? So why are we sad? We can be sad when I leave, but today, I want to be happy."
You can just decide to be happy?
Yep, why not? You're here, I'm here, we have all day to talk and hang out. He thought about what I said, then smiled. He looked at me and asked,
What do you want to do?
Without thinking, I leaned over and kissed him. His cheeks turned bright red. We both laughed. He took me to a boba tea place, then we ate some ramen and even went to karaoke. I had never had so much fun. I was worried it would only last for today, but I put all the worry behind me and enjoyed the moment. That night, we had to say goodbye. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. He walked me home and kissed me before he left. The last thing he said to me was,
If I never see you again, please know you'll always be with me and all the people I help with my music.
I watched him leave, holding on to the moment as long as I could. When it was time, we packed the moving truck and left. Then to my surprise, I saw him. He was on the sidewalk, talking to one of the shy kids he used to pick on. But this time, they were both smiling. He was apologizing and making friends. I knew then that everything would be okay. And as for me, I was going somewhere new. Sure, it was scary and a little sad, but it was also exciting. Who would I meet? What would I do there? I decided to enjoy every day and made a promise that I would make the most of any situation that came up in my life, good or bad.